Greetings, family. This is Bomani Tyehimba, and I'm here with my good brother, Kala Genesis, and we are here on this wonderful, beautiful day. And we are here to talk about many wonderful things. We're here to definitely talk about Africa and America connection on this 4th of July. And it just so happened to be on this day. But since we're dealing with the 4th of July, got my good brother here. I'm wanting to see if he can do a nice introduction about what does the 4th of July means to Black people.
Not a damn thing. This means ribs, chicken, potato salad, grape soda, and some fireworks. That's about it. And we haven't been independent. We're the only. Let me tell you something, folks. Right? Yeah. Let me introduce. I'm the College Genesis, chief host of the Voice of the College Nation radio show on DeVille Radio. One of the co-founders of the Black African Infrastructure Organization, social media network. Join us. It's like our own Black Facebook. We're going to talk about that too. How Black people talk all the smack all they want, but we've created a social network platform, Bomani, myself, and everything. But everybody giving all their algorithms to Twitter and everything like that, and they want to talk about independence. Niggas, shut up. So we're gonna smack some of you niggas around tonight too. Hypocrite ass niggas. So the bottom line is this. 4th of July don't mean jack shit to Black people. We're 400 years. Think about this, brother Bonnie. 400 years, right? And the Black man in America has never been able to impose his will around the world. Now we had some influence, right? Right, there's some influence. Oh yeah, Jesse Jackson make a speech, like that. But what I say will is what's going on in Africa right now, what the France have with their former colonies. That's impose your will. The sanctions on Zimbabwe. The white man still has the power to impose his will on the people. If people do not have a power to protect yourself or impose your will through diplomacy and everything like that, then you need to get rid of those people, get rid of those governments, and get rid of any of those race traders that are freaking ruling over you. Because they're nothing but cipher. And I'm going to talk about that tonight too. Who does the African governments really represent? Do they represent the people? No. Black leaders in America. Do they represent us? Hell no. So we're the only group of people on the planet, the Black people in America, right, who have no power over what comes into our minds, what comes to what brain propaganda about us, and I'm gonna talk about that too. Wow, a lot of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora are picking up negative things about us, right, and spreading this stuff, right? Because there's a concerted effort to destroy the black man and Black woman in America. All the stuff you see, the gender divide, all the stuff like that, it's all orchestrated. Colorism, all these things that are afflicting Black people, right? The sexualism. Okay, you from California, I don't want to fuck with you. You from New York, I don't fuck with you. You from the islands, I don't want to fuck with you. Also, all this stuff is done deliberately. And like I said, I'm tired of playing games with people, going back and forth, right? If the College Genesis says something, right? If I say something, then I'm rebuking my brothers and sisters from the diaspora. You have to know my years of doing this, that Kala has good intentions and he means well and he loves his people and he wants to see his people unified. Don't ever compare me to FBA Adolf or Tariq Nasheed. Don't ever do that. Okay? And the reason why I'm saying this is because right now the Black world needs each other more than it ever have in our entire history. Okay? We have never needed each other more. And because of social media, we're finally getting to know each other. We understand the nuances in Nigeria, right? Right? We Black people in America understand, okay, there's different things going on in South Africa, different things going on in Kenya, and we understand there's nuance there, okay? It's not all this. There's different groups and everything. We learned about the nuances in Ethiopia. There's the Oromos, there's a Tergay, whatever, and all these other people who are vying for power and everything. So it's not just Ethiopia. So we understand that, okay? We understand about what's going on in Uganda, with Museveni and the Bobby Wine situation and everything. So nothing's not a monolith. But when it comes to African Americans, the most largest, probably Black group in the world, probably potential, the largest group of people, Black people living on the grid in the first world, is always relegated to some Black America is this, and just dismiss Black people as lazy, unintelligent, despite all the fact that all the accomplishments our ancestors did in America and continue to do in America, we're supposed to just basically take a negative opinion about ourselves and just run with it. And then when other people say, okay, oh, they're just giving us honest criticism. Okay, well, okay, that's fair. But don't you think we have black people in America that criticize their own people enough? We have black conservatives. We have black people who every community who are always trying to better our community, trying to better us or make us look better and everything like that, and give us guidance and role models and everything. Why do we need somebody else to come here and tell us this? Now, there's a difference between somebody like my brother Bomani, who's part of our community, who's a Pan-Africanist who lives in the black community, who loves the community, right? He can give honest opinion, and I don't think nothing of it. Why? Because I know he's a real black man, a real Pan-Africanist, a real nationalist, and a Garveyite, and all the stuff like this. But what I'm talking about is Negropeans, okay? And Negropeans have infiltrated Black America social spaces and everything, and they've infiltrated Pan-African movements, right? And they're not here to give honest criticism and stuff like that. They're here to basically play this game with the white world, which they're trying to be pick-me's. Okay, black people ain't shit and everything like that. And you know something? Let me be honest with you, right? When it really comes down to it, the white people are still gonna fucking look at Black America before they look at Nigerians and everything. That's just reality, okay? So no matter what they do, instead of saying, you know, let's join with the black people in America and fight a common oppressor, a common enemy, these white crackers that's in Britain, France, and everything, we want to basically see what crumbs could fall from the table, and we sell each other out. Ghana does it to Nigeria. Nigeria does it to Ghana. Ivory Coast. Everybody's out for themselves and everything. I look at social media, and I'm not just saying this recently because I've studied different social media platforms around the world for years, right? And especially particularly in the UK, right, where instead of basically saying, you know, we're both from the diaspora, we're both black, you know, let's form a black community, right? The Ghanaians are basically talking about the Nigerians are scammers. The Nigerians are calling the Ghanaian women loose, you know, always looking for money, all this kind of negativity stuff that's basically keeping people divided. And we wonder why Nigeria, the best minds in Nigeria and a thing can't get together and build it. Now, I was looking at the TAP project in Gambia, and that just thrilled my heart because what I'm hearing is Nigerian and Ghanaian investors who are building Gambia's first smart city. I said, that's the thing. That's what we should be rallying behind. That's what we should be talking about, you know, and instead of fighting, bickering back and forth with negativity, you know. There's nobody that basically in our culture, in the black race, that does not have problems, okay? We got problems in the black community in America. We got problems in Nigeria. We got problems in Ghana. We got problems. Everybody has their dirt. But the thing is, though, people look at the world through the prisms of white people, right? White people will look at white people. America has convinced a lot of people in Africa that America is this perfect civilization, right? That there's money on every street corner, there's libraries and education, all stuff like this, and you just have to be lazy like that. And then when they come here and find out that's not the case, like a couple of years ago, I don't remember this, Bomani, there was a number of Kenyans that were hanging themselves, right, committing suicide. And I said it once, and I looked into it, I said, why are they doing it? Why is the suicide rate among African immigrants so high? Because they come over here with this idea that, oh, just stay away from Black America, stay away from the black people in America. They all sell drugs. They'll say stuff like they're all drug dealers and criminals, and then all the black women in America are baby mamas and hood rats and everything. That's what they say, you know. And so they'll say that, and then when they don't make it, they don't get that job wherever. These people commit. They don't know how to think because they will not admit that, you know something. Those white people, right, simply just don't want you around them. You know, simple as that. You just didn't get the job, you know. But if you believe there's no such thing as racism in America, right? And the thing about Black America, we know there's racism, but in spite of that, we still succeed here. You know, we make the best of it. But the whole thing is if you basically say that there's no racism and black people, whatever, we should be dominating Wall Street and everything, do you understand that our ancestors, how many small towns in Black America were burned to the ground that were just basically trying to survive and compete with white people? And we just wanted to be left. We never wanted any. All we wanted to do was be left alone. And so therefore, we were basically under segregation. And then people ask, "Well, segregation good?" No, segregation was not a good thing. How could segregation not be a good thing? No. First of all, when you talk about Jim Crow and everything, right? Some black people in the say in the Pan African nationalist community, right? They really believe that they could have made a go of segregation. But here's the problem, right? Segregation never included black empowerment, right? It never included you having your own banks. It never included you having your own commercial. Segregation means you're separate, right? But the means of everything important is controlled by white people. You have a flunky ass white guy, right? Don't know his whole his ass from a hole in the wall, right? Dominating the black where the black people live. He's Mr. Such and such, right? He owns a lumber yard. Well, couldn't a black man do the same thing? No. Everything you do, from the lumber you buy and everything like that, is controlled by whites. The lowest of the whites are the elite over you. That's segregation. That's the reality. It's more than just basically you being separate. And so therefore I do believe in that vein, right? Since whites controlled everything, some black people thought it was better just integrate with white people, because basically they control everything. We're defeated. We're like, okay, they control everything. They're building the roads. They're building a new hospital. Why are we going to reinvent the wheel? That's what they thought. Hindsight now, people are like, oh man, we should have been segregated. But the bottom line is they took all the means of us being independent in America. They even got rid of the Negro Leagues. No, you can't have that. You're making money. We had a thing called the Green Book. Black people were just basically, these are mostly hotels and bed and breakfast. We stayed with each other. You can't have that, because why? Because black people making money. And so therefore you get rid of that. And with little commerce that we did have, it wasn't a whole lot. Even if you have the Green Book, white people somehow made it certain that the majority of money still goes to their community. So it's not even an even score. When you live in a country where you're the minority group, the majority of wealth and everything is going to go to the majority community. As simple as that. We thought that we had communities in Los Angeles, New York, and everything. And the white people gave loans to the Koreans and everything. Why? Because you can't have black people independent in their own areas. So therefore, the people who own the real estate and people who own the banks and everything, and will give the government was backing loans to Korean businesses set up in black communities. Why? Because we don't want black people to have commerce and stuff like that. That's a threat. That's a threat. Our independence and our well-being without them is a threat to national security. That's why, for the most part. Okay, now there's some people that basically white conservatives like, oh yeah, we need to do that, right? But they basically never follow through with it. Okay, if you really believe black people should have their own shit, where's the money for it? It never came through. They never came through. Okay, yeah, you guys should build your schools. Okay, where's the funding for it? Well, we can't get the government. Okay, so since we can't do that, something, you got to bust us to your schools. Because our schools look like shit. You're not going to put some money in our community to build our communities and everything. And then some people say, well, what do you need money? Because everything relies on tax dollars. Tax dollars is how businesses get started, right? Government loans and stuff like that. The government gives farmers loans, subsidized farming, okay? Everything relies on the government. The government's one of the biggest contractors in the world. People sell to the government. The government give loans, procurements, and stuff like that. Here in Virginia and Oceania, you've been here, brother Bomani. How much stuff the Oceania buy from the local community? They buy everything. They buy everything from ice cream to car parts from the local. Who's doing that? White people. You got some black people who sell to the Navy. Vendors who sell to the Navy. One of my guys, John, right? He's retired. He's a chief. He retired 3 years ago as a Navy chief, right? He lives in Dallas, Texas right now. He's a contractor now. He makes like $200,000 a year as a contractor for the Navy, retired. And plus he gets his Navy retirement check and everything. Him and his wife travel. They do all things. He's been to Ghana. He's been to places like that, So bottom line is I know people like this, So the whole thing is this. You have to, the reality is we need the money that's inside the United States. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to we need to but we need to be smart about it. We need our own banks. We need everything. We need to accumulate wealth in America and then hedge that wealth is to build and develop in Africa. There's no African American or diasporas that have any real banks. Whatever happened to that one bank you had in Ghana that went down? Whatever happened to that? What's up? What's up? Nye, what's my boy Nye? You're on mute, Bomani. You're on mute.
Yes, they're working on restructuring as far as that credit union. It's unfortunate, but the good thing is that they're working towards resolving the issue, and that's the unfortunate. When we're doing business, we run into issues, and we just have to find ways to solve them, work them out, and make it happen. Because we have to think about our future. If everything that we all working together on, we just all fail, and it's just all falling apart, that means we are building nothing for our future. So it's important that black-owned business keep the fight going, and that's the thing that you're mainly talking about, the supporting our own business, and we're talking about the America and Africa reality, or the Africa and America reality. And the reality of it is we're talking about we have a whole lot of black folks in America and a whole lot of black people in Africa. And what does that mean? When I look at it, I look at black corporate investments and black corporate economics, us doing business with each other, us establishing enterprises. And it takes the strength of our people this all over the place to make this happen. Some of our people are going to be with it, the whole Pan African connection and Black Power move. And then some people are going to be into, whatever they're into and things like that. But enough of us have to be about this life and this business and making it happen. And that's why we offer consultation and offer Africa tours and investments and this networking based on my actual experience on traveling and doing business in Africa, and staying very temporary, but it's what it is. I believe some of us have to take that position, spend our time working on what we need to work on, and make our way back and forth and things like that. So, brother, you have seen, the flow of what we've been doing, and what I tell people is not glorified tourism. It's building a foundation. It's really trying to strengthen, connect, and educate and work with our people. How or else how else are we as a people supposed to come together and make things work if we're not practicing, keyword practicing,
Right.
kind of like on the job training. You have to
Right.
put some work into it to get better at it and things like that. So even this the 16 years I've been going back and forth to Ghana alone, this one country, not to mention other countries, and just doing our basic business, tourism and investment, land development and things like that. And as time go along, it becomes a situation where it becomes more natural. And what I will say, brother, is the fact that we have supported a whole lot of black-owned business. As a matter of fact, when you look at the itinerary of all itineraries that I have for all countries, all you see is a whole lot of black connections. You may have one or two hotels that may not belong to us, but that's just one or two out of a whole list of them across many countries and things like that. And practically just getting up in your own neighborhood and finding business that belong to your people, and and spending that money and investing
Right.
and being part of it. It's kind of like a practical thing that we're trying to get people into it, and that's the reality of what we're dealing with, being practically involved into making this work, versus all the nonsense you and I have been hearing about, people talking down about the Black America energy we have here. I'm always telling people that some of the best resources that we have here is in these United States of America. We have an incredible black population of people. We have black men that's been building ships, airplanes. We have we have a generation of people who been able to get their hands on on practically being a part of the growth of a nation, growth of a nation, even though we may not get all the credit and things like that. But the fact of it is, we have the skill base and we have that connection and interest as a people. Because
Yeah.
you have talking about America, you're talking about populations of people from all over the different parts of America. You're talking about people from the Caribbean islands, people from different parts of Africa. You're talking about an incredible skill bank base with this a great. And it's not as simple as people want to make it seem like, oh, all of these people are supposed to just naturally just get together and put their money together and practice group economics. I'm telling people, you're talking about black folks from all over the place. You're talking about just a mix of people from the south, east, west, north, midwest, and so on. And it gets so basically you're talking about black people with many different cultures. And then when you go to Africa, the same situation you're dealing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
One country alone, you may run into several different languages and
Mm-hmm.
several different cultural groups. And so you're consistently just divided across all these lines. So I want people to give ourselves more credit than these things. The fact that we're out here actually even trying to make these positive moves is unbelievable because we were divided and conquered to where we were supposed to just continue to fight each other. So
Right.
all of these things are, things that have been put in works and things like that. And the way we fight this is we reach out to more of our people across the world and just work with them. Like I have a crew in Ghana that I've been working with for a long time, and it's kind of like one of those things where you're sharing with people, your culture of how you do things and what you're about, and then you're learning. For me, it's always going to be a twofold thing. It's not going to be me as someone coming from America, born in Jamaica, and then going to Africa and feel like I'm going to give up everything that I've learned and everything I'm about, and just make my way to Africa and just pick up everything. No, I don't believe that. And I have incredible skill and incredible cultural connections here. Very important things that we need in that movement. So we're putting the best of all things together, family, and that's how we're gonna make it work. But brother Kyla, speak on some of these things I was talking
Yeah,
about.
you're absolutely right. And one thing we have to do as Black people, right, is one is we have to start acting like adults. Let me give you an example, right? And I know I'm a little long-winded on this, right? I was watching this thing on. I'm fascinated when I watch animal channels, right? And why do animals do what they do, right? And they always say, "Oh, it's a survival for her young. Is going to live. Every breath in her body, like the female tarantula hawk, right? She goes out there and hunts down the most dangerous thing, a tarantula, 4 times her size, right? Puts herself at risk, right? She stings the tarantula, paralyzes it, drags it to a hole, right? Lays an egg on it. And the wasp larvae, her baby could only survive on tarantulas, right? Tarantulas, right? It eats the tarantula and it goes up to a wasp. And I always ask myself, why did God make nature like this, where this tarantula could find something like a grasshopper, something easier? Why is she putting herself at risk? That's what survival is. We as Black people in America, we really don't give a damn about the future generation. Say because her spawn has to survive, so she's doing everything. It's built into her nature. But let me say something, folks, and I'm gonna hurt some people's feeling, right? That right there, survival, right, was bred out of the so-called black slave. I hate to say this term, the creation of this thing called the nigger, right? Despite all that, we Black people in America have been fighting this demon, right, called the nigger that the white man created, and the nigger is really the white man, you know. But the whole thing is this: America gives us everything basically like that. Most Black people, some Black people fall for the trap. They fall into crime. They fall into drugs. They fall into violence. They fall into self-hate and all stuff like this, right? They fall into this idea of dependency. They fall into this idea of white man, white worship, and white supremacy and everything like that. Then there's some of us, right, who don't buy this stuff. We don't buy the idea that white people are superior to us, right? I sure the hell don't, right? And so what's going on right now is there's a lot of people, right, who or brothers who come from overseas, right? They bought into this idea that the white man is all this white man's country. I said, well, what about all the Black people who contribute to building this country? What about all the Black people who work every day to make sure this country works and everything? The truck drivers, the pipe fitters, the welders, all these things like that we don't get credit for. If it wasn't for the Black people, there would be Black men. There would be no Detroit. You would have no motor industry. There would be no steel industry. We're the ones who built all that. Our labor, all the stuff that was Black men coming from the South, right? All those Black communities you see in the Northeast and whatnot were built by hardworking Black people for generations and everything, right? So when people come over here, right, because I understand the white man's on top, right? It seems, and the bottom line is, it's always got this battle in America for Black people who are trying to fight their way in America. We fight for everything, right? And the white man who doesn't want to give the Black people any sort of thing. But for everything you see Black America has, no one's given it to us. We survive not because of America, but in spite of America, right? America is basically the land of our damnation. And in spite of all that, like the Bible says, I prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. That's what we are. That's in the 23rd Psalm. That's who we are. In the presence of our enemies, we were able to thrive. Despite everything and whatnot they threw at us, whatnot, we're still here. Any other group of people would have died off and just gave up and just died off. But Black America, the Black man, the African American is still here. Okay? And we still managed to reach back to our continent, right? With our institute. We educated all the post-independent African heads of state in our institutions in America. You know, we played a pivotal role in the African independence movement, right? We played a role in ending apartheid in South Africa. So when I come here, I'm standing on this. When you see me, right? I'm not a thug. I'm not Snoop Dogg. I'm not the ghetto thug and whatnot. You know, I stand on John Johnson, founder of Ebony Magazine, Reginald Lewis, the world's first black billionaire. And they said, "Well, Colin, why you sound so African?" Because I have to do this, right? I have to remind people who exactly are you dealing with, you know, because there's this disrespect that's out there for the African American. I don't know where it is. I don't know who told anybody that, right, that you could disrespect Black America, right, and call that Pan-Africanism. That's not Pan-Africanism. That's Pan-Africanism. Okay? So when I check people about that stupid, that nonsense, that condescending nonsense, everything, nobody has a right to talk to anybody. I have no right to condescend on Nigerians. I have no right, even though we did a lot and everything, still don't think it's the right for me to condescend on another group of Black people because we're all the same. But what we have is right now is Negropeans who are basically infiltrated Black spaces, right? They get into Black people's business and everything. They're really part of the LGBTQ and all these other New World Order, alternative lifestyle, and you don't know anything. You don't know until it's too late that who you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who don't want to see this happen, who always want to see bickering back and forth. That's why it's important that we check the ADOS FBA people who want to see Black people and Africans divided, the people that hate their African roots and everything, who don't want to see us divided, who want to unite. And you got to check the so-called immigrants who come over here with this nonsense. And I'm going to say this, right? And when people say stuff like this, right? This is what I'm saying. Don't come, when you go to America, and they say it so callously, you know? I was told, don't stay again. First of all, if somebody ever said that to me, right, in my house, I said, get the fuck out of my house. My parents told me don't hang around you people because you guys are all drug dealers. One, you disrespected me, you disrespected my whole people and everything like this. Why would anybody basically generalize a whole group of people, right? That's because people have, like I said, I understand now that Black America, right, we live in a global world, that's tribalism, right? The tribalism is the lowest form of communication. With tribalism, you don't look at people as human beings, complete human beings, as with flaws, with good points and bad points. And the tribalist is no different than a white supremacist. Okay, a white supremacist, basically, to them, all Black men are rapists, murderers, everything like this. They make a general statement, and if they have power, right, they act on that. Okay. The only difference between the tribalist and the white supremacist is the tribalist, the Negropean, does not have any power to do that, right? And so Colin, what are you worried about if they don't have power? It has power because those of us who are trying to build bridges between our thing, if that sort of poison spreads, if people start believing that stuff right here, then basically, all what we work will be in vain. If you basically say, like a certain Negropeans out there, that called Atlanta the capital of the criminals, whatever like that, make a blanket statement on the whole entire Black community in the city of Atlanta and talk about, oh yeah, well, look at their coming to Gambia, beware the criminals, especially if they're out of Atlanta. What kind of freaking shit is that? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, the Negropean mentality that people think like that. And when I check it, right, I mean it. Because people make blanket statements. It's one thing if you're just running your mouth and everything, but I'm a serious person, right? And this movement right here.
To speak specifically even about that one Negropean, because most of the things that he does is related to these things that, you know what I mean? He literally like pick up some of the worst behaviors of our people and display it.
Yeah, he takes the worst. Now the Negropean, right? Why was he talking about Mark Blanton and Latasha Blanton, who are doing good work? You don't mention them, right? But what he wants to do is making sure that in the African mind, right? What is he don't respect Africans? He thinks Africans are really unintelligent and they don't freaking read or whatever. They don't research. They just take everything at face value. That's why YouTube is so dangerous. People believe anybody that gets on YouTube, right, without any research and everything. You know, they call my brother Bomani a criminal and everything like that. I'm like, what? You know, he's a criminal. You know, this, that, the other thing. He's a hustler. When I like 16 years, hundreds of people to the African continent. You know, did everything right, raised his son, do everything right, and and they're going to disparage my brother Bomani. You know, and I'm saying to myself, that's what because I didn't know about the other people, right? But when he attacked brother Bomani, I was like, wait a minute here. You know, I didn't know about Art Cathy and ES and all these other people and everything. But I said, I know this brother Bomani. You know, he does good work and everything like that. He's a professional and everything like that. So when he starts attacking him, I'm saying to myself, and then basically attacking him with the whole, you know how, he's down there in the Atlanta area, and putting this idea that black people in America got nothing else better to do but go to poor ass Africa and try to rob poor Africans, you know? Now, we got to money. If I'm going to go rob somebody one night, wouldn't I go to some place like Dubai? Wouldn't I go to Hong Kong? The cities that got billions of dollars and billionaires walking the streets and everything. Why not try to do something like that? What the heck? If I'm going to the Gambia or Ghana, what the heck have they got that I got to rob? You know? And so therefore, people say, well, maybe these guys are serious. Maybe these guys really want to build something and everything. Well, that don't cross anybody's mind. So when you basically put it out there to African Americans, you judge us by the worst among us, right? And you put that energy out there, right? It manifests itself in many ways, where people think they can just talk like a girl. People say, "Oh, my father killed me if I dated a black man from America." Well, who the heck are you? And why would you say something like that? Do you understand that the African American Spider is a human being? That person has feelings. You know, he's not. If they react a certain way, and this is what what I started the top show is. Black people in America have never been able to strike back at any other people, you know. And Kenya, remember the Chinese several times, right? They had a restaurant where they didn't like Kenyans in, right? What happened to that? The Kenyans shut them down and deported them. Recently, another happened. They weren't letting any black people in this one club in Kenya, right? Guess what? They got social media, and guess what? They got the people got shut down. And Malawi, there's a Chinese guy that was taking little innocent Malawian children, right? And we're basically making them say we're nothing but ugly black monsters. Chinese people are beautiful. Africans are ugly. You know, they didn't know what they were saying. They're innocent, right? This guy, when they found him, he fled, right? And he got arrested in Zambia. He's being brought back to the thing. The Malawians are going to bring him to justice. So you think about it, black people in America, right? When somebody spites us and everything, we don't have the power because we don't live in a country where we control the laws, the customs, and everything like that. So we can't basically enforce our will on somebody. So therefore, that's why African Americans are a little more sensitive when you say something about them. You understand? See, me being African American, I understand my people. We're good. We're on the whole, Black America, we're good people. You know, we've never done anything collectively to somebody else. And I asked a question. You know, all these people that hate us, hate African Americans. What did we do to you? You know, what did we do? What did African Americans do to you? And then the same time, people, right? And despite everything, right? Black America is still the richest black people on the planet. And Africa is going to go nowhere until it makes amends and build these bridges with Black America and the diaspora and stuff like that, and the brain trust we have in America. You know, that's what's going to pull Africa up. No other way. You know, when you sever ties with Europe and everything, finally, you're going to need somebody to come in, right? We have the institutions here to make that happen. Black people in America control cities in America. Cities have pension funds. They have sovereign wealth bonds. They have all these things that if it was done right, Africa could have billions and billions of dollars to develop. We had that with South Africa. South Africa flowed sovereign wealth backed on this rand back in the days. And cities like Philadelphia and all the people put their pensions and everything in South Africa until we had the divestment movement. And then we pulled out divestment. All college and everything was divested, was pegged to the South African rand. South Africa had the most powerful currency in the world in the 70s. You know, America had skyrocket inflation. South Africa became the world's currency reserve. Okay, people don't know that history. The same thing South Africa did back then in the 60s and 70s. Any black country in Africa could do. Uganda just discovered 35 million metric tons of gold, valued at like $40 trillion. With that, you could pull Africa, the whole continent of Africa up. and people start basing their currencies based on Ugandan gold bullion. And so, therefore, right now, with all the people we have in the diaspora, all the people we have in Africa, we need to be putting together people top among us to come together and see how we can pull ourselves out of this mess, because we cannot leave the next generation like we are, right? Right now, we're pathetic. Right now, we control no global supply chains. There's no shipping companies with African flags that go in the ports exporting African export. Africa exports nothing. Oh, they export. No, they don't. Foreign companies come in and they siphon off. If a mosquito lands on your arm and starts sucking blood out of you, are you exporting blood to the mosquito? No. He's sticking that tube in you and sucking it out, whether you like it or not. You ain't exporting mosquitoes. That's what it is, Africa. The Europeans are basically with their little tube, right? Blood sucking Africa minerals out of the continent. You ain't exporting anything. They're coming and taking it, and they give you a little whatever fee, a little fiat, whatever like that, to sustain yourself, and they give you loans and everything like that, and everything. But they're taking all the resources out. We're not, and basically give you paper money. So all this stuff right here we talk about, right? We talk about because College Genesis has been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this, studying Africa and the movement for longer than a lot of people have been alive. I've been studying this for since I was in my 20s, right? 30 years. And I've been studying this stuff. I've been studying how Europe manipulates Africa and stuff like this. And all the stuff you see now with Julius Malema and stuff like that, this stuff I knew was going to come one day. I said, there's no way this is going to be sustainable. And the whole thing is they betted on Africans staying in darkness for the next 100 years, being stupid. They thought that they could basically give Africa green cards. It was working. Give them green cards, let them come over here and mess with our white girls and everything like that, and all good. And you put a little bit of money in their pocket, and they go back to Africa bragging that they got a little something because they went abroad. My son studies abroad in Cambridge and Oxford. And I think that right there, the Negropean and the Afropean and all these other people, that Negro is dying. And it's dying because the real Pan-African movement in America is shining on them, right? All right. Why do you think people, they look at us, they're like, wow, man, you got to be like Brother Bomani. There's no other people in the diaspora doing what Brother Bomani's doing, and stuff like this. Nobody else is doing this, All the African Americans is in Ghana doing business in South Africa and stuff like this. It's us. And the bottom line is this, like I said, we don't, the day we ever have power in Africa, like political power, where we could basically, with a stroke of a pen, move heaven and earth, is the day we're going to all see our salvation. Well, we don't have that right now. Right now, we're just basically doing what we have to do, and we have to deal with the governments that's elected, right? Because we believe in this idea of democracy and everything, and all they have to do is, and people do, is vote on tribal lines, vote on corruption lines, and everything like that. And that's what it is. And nobody really cares about building the continent. And what I was going to get at before is about the wasp and everything. The wasp does this stuff, right? Because they want future generations to be stronger. And they get the biggest tarantulas, right? Because the bigger the tarantula, the stronger the more the wasp larvae is going to eat, and the bigger the wasp is going to be. So it'll be stronger and stronger, so their species survive. What are the black people are doing for the next generation to eat on and whatnot, so they can have something? We're doing nothing. We're doing nothing. We think somewhere along the line that the white man's going to solve all our problems. But you got little ass Chinese, little ass Japanese, right? Knock the white man upside the head in World War I and World War II and stuff. Knock the white man upside the head and whatnot. Went to war with them. Now the Asians control Asia. They control the whole specific region. Africa is still dominated by Europeans, and all we do is get online, go back and forth with each other, talking about this, that, thing. And like I said, and I put a blog out, and I'm gonna talk about Rachel. There's no power in blackness. That's the problem. When a white person, right? When you ever see black comedians when they address a white audience, Bomani, like, yeah, see, white people, just go like I said. The white people sit back and comfortable in their whiteness, right? Now, in that audience, you may see an Italian. You may notice an Italian. You may see somebody look like he's Greek, Russian, French, whatever, German, English, Anglo-Saxon, Irish, whatever. But the bottom line is they're all sitting back united in their what? Their whiteness. That's power. The black man, right? Since there's no power in our blackness, right? We want to distinguish ourselves, right? As, oh, I'm an ADOS, FBA, I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Yoruba man, I'm a Zulu, don't mess with me, I'm this. Why? Because there's no power in the black skin. Because until the black man has that one nation in Africa that's strong, that could strike anywhere in the world, its enemies anywhere in the world, whatnot, and can do anything, move heaven and earth, whatnot, the black race are always going to look down. And we always thought Nigeria was going to be that country. But how's little Nigeria is running from little ragtags like Boko Haram and shit, I'm like, yo, what the hell? I thought Nigeria was supposed to be the superpower Africa. They said we got the Nigerian police and the troops abandon their stations to some ragtags from the desert. I was like, God damn, niggas, what the fuck y'all doing? If y'all really want to, if we really wanted to, man, we black people in the diaspora and everything, we should build a 10 million man army, right? A 10 million man army. If you're really serious about this, then we can go and be peacekeepers in the Congo, bring peace to the Congo. I have Congolese brother, right? Probably watching now, right? This dude trolling me all the time for years, right? Colin, my Congo brother, man, my Congolese brother. Look, nigga, I'm a Pan-African. Don't tell me that. Your ancestors come from the Congo, Colin. You just so, yeah, I know. I did my DNA, mostly from the Congo, right? Yeah, we got to wipe out the Tutsis. Nigga. I'm like, so in other words, basically, you forgot all about the Belgium. You forgot all about the French that's fucking your shit up, right? The Lebanese, everybody else fucking your shit up, the Israelis, everything. And you wanna bum rush Rwanda and take out Paul Kagame, right? Would that make you feel that if y'all managed to do that, right, and drag Paul Kagame out in the street? Nakmeezy, come on, Nak, man, come on. What is Nakmeezy talking about, man? Come on, Nakmeezy. Nakmeezy is my favorite Captain America Negro, man. He's my favorite Captain America Negro. He's down for that America thing, man. I cannot. Look, I'm not the type, man. I'll be like this, man. I'm a Pan-African and everything like that, right? But one thing I always say, and if people don't understand it, right? I don't understand. Maybe we can reach a compromise, right? I care about Africa. I think we should build Africa, right? I think we also should build in America. I get that, right? But the friggin' Captain America Negro don't want us even talking about Africa. Come on, if you are down with America, you're celebrating the 4th of July today, you're eating your ribs, you're eating your chicken and whatnot, you're eating potato chips and your grape soda and whatnot, you're getting down, hey, you pull your fireworks. Hey, I ain't got no problem with that, man. You do what you got to do, But the whole thing is those of us who say, look at the future, right? We're living in a global world, right? We living in a global world, right? The global world is this, man. It's like this, Colin, you don't have to do this. I know I don't, but I'm just such an asshole, right? And it's like that one guy came on that some light-skinned guy came on Brandon's show the other day talking about you Pan-Africans are fucking shit up. I said, I knew we were getting to these people, right? They were like, yo, you guys talking about Pan-Africans destabilizing America. I didn't ask for this, I didn't ask. Look, my ancestors didn't ask to be brought here. They should have known that sooner or later, like, my whole thing is this, like this. I like power, I like power. I do. I don't. When I'm looking at Joe Biden giving Ukraine $65 billion in my tax line, and I can't do a damn thing about it, that bothers me. When I see Barack Obama putting sanctions on Mugabe, and I can't do nothing about it, that bothers me. When I see all these countries, U.S. taking unilateral action, I see that bumbling idiot George Bush destroyed Iraq and whatnot just because he put his hand up and put his hand on some damn Bible. Excuse me, Lord, not no damn Bible, some Bible, right? And because he was called commander in chief, he gets to take out a whole country. Why? Because he's a white man and he has power. When am I going to have that sort of power? When is somebody like me going to have that sort of power to say, something, man? I don't like what's going over there in eastern part of Texas. I'm gonna send some troops over there. There's an unrest called racial unrest, man. We're gonna send troops inside of Texas and one border from the Congo. We're gonna send a whole contingent over there to bring peace. Do we have the power to do that? No. Did anybody even suggest that? No. But it's okay for the white man to have bases in Africa, right? and do military ops anywhere that they want to in the world. And we accept that. There's no way in the world I will accept this. That one race of people, right, could be like this. What, Brother Monty, can you tell me what benefit that all the wars we spent blood in, Black Americans spent blood in, tell me what benefit did we ever get out of it? We have never, a group of people have never gotten anything. We have,
what we've gotten is just a use of our resources.
Right, and also after World War II, they were waiting for black men to come off the after World War II, waiting for black men to. They were waiting at bus stations, right, to drag black men in their uniform, just coming from the war, and beat them and lynch them. And I'm saying to myself, what the hell does the black man ever gain from anything? We went up there. If it wasn't for us, Germany would have won World War II. The Harlem Hellfighters, baddest motherfuckers on the planet. This the 54th Regiment of Massachusetts, right? Credit for turning the tide in the Union's favor. We got nothing out of it. And so I'm saying to myself, man, what the hell? Like this, it's always somebody basically benefit. Now, I'm like this. If the white man says, I hate you niggas, this and the other thing, okay, you hate us, right? You don't want us, but why is it that you could draft my black ass to go fight in your war in Vietnam? This is what I'm saying. I mean, even Rod Sterling said that. Rod Sterling from the Twilight Zone? You ever watch the Twilight Zone back in the days, Bomani?
Yes.
Okay, now that dude, Rod Sterling, was brilliant, And somehow, I don't know, him and Malcolm X talked, right? But they said the same exact thing. Rod Sterling said, there's no way a country, he judged America. He said, no country that basically oppresses a man just because of his race could call itself a good country. Malcolm X said the same thing in his last speeches. Now, I don't know if they even talked. I said, how they said the same thing? This white man and Malcolm X said the same thing. He said, there's no way if a country is rejecting a people because of their race or not, that's not a good country. It has no moral authority. And so therefore, I'm saying to myself, the black man in America, I'm like this. I realize that I'm powerless. We have no say-so what goes on in the world. I look at things like Mobutu Sese Seko. The United States government propped up that brutal dictator when I had Patrice Lumumba killed. We were powerless. We couldn't do nothing about it. And even the CIA, right, got Don King and Muhammad Ali to put this guy on the map with the Rumble in the Jungle. That gave him credibility. And so I'm saying to myself, man, so again, the black man in America is powerless. I'm like this. I can't go by, I don't believe that. I believe the black man and the white man have two different mindsets. And the black man's mindset and whatnot is dismissed. What you see in America is either white conservatism or white liberal white people power. And when it really comes down to it, right, it's all about power. They'll give you voting, they'll give you food, they'll give you jobs, they give us. But the natural thing that all men should want is power. You're asking for too much. And I'm saying the black man in America, right, probably one of the strongest groups of people on the planet, right, is the most powerless because we put all our eggs in America's basket. Now, I always said that the black man in America, right, now's the time to come together and say, yeah, those of us who say that we need a nation state of our own on the continent of our ancestors, it's up to Africans and to move heaven and earth to make that happen. Because we cannot because other than that, America is going to collide. America is basically does not know what to do with this black population. The cries for reparations, what it is this. Black people still want vengeance and restitution and something like that from slavery. We look at it, because of the internet, because people talk about it more, what they got away with, the Jim Crow era and everything, a lot of black people are turning on the United States. That's just reality. At the same time, we have black immigrants coming over here, right? And they're carefully chosen, right? They can't, yeah, Nak, it's the truth, bro. When we say powerless, right? Do you have anything? Can you force anything in America? No. You guys want reparations, and you ain't never gonna get it. You have no power. You know? Oh, come on, man. The Secretary of Defense, come on, Knack. He's a puppet. He's not a black man. He's speaking for the white man. He's a white man. You know? The freaking this guy is a hack. This guy, the Secretary of Defense, this guy's a hack. This guy basically is was in the arms deal, stuff like that. He's corrupt. This guy has all kinds of, but he's not being investigated because the Biden administration could do no wrong. This guy got all kinds of inside deals and everything, you know? And the bottom line is my version of power is different than Nakmezi's. That's not power. That's just a tokenism. Power means you affect your will, right? Power means that lady that had Emmett Till killed, whatnot, she will be brought to justice already. That lady's still walking around alive who lied on Emmett Till. She's still alive right now. That's power. Power is basically being able to assert your will. We can't even do it through the court systems. That's power. We don't have power in America. I'm sick and tired of being powerless. Always sit back and say, oh, yeah, another police shooting and everything. Also, the crime in Black America. If it was up to me, right, this city's was out of control will be under martial law. We'd have people like the Fruit of Islam, you know, Black Panthers, and Detroit 660 patrolling Black neighborhoods. You know, it would bring the crime down and do all this stuff like this. So basically, what I'm saying is we can't do that. Why? Because we don't have any power. White people, when they didn't like what we were doing, you know, they had the power. You know, the power. They had the power. When they didn't like Black Wall Street, they had the power to destroy it and get away with it. And the Black people lost everything. When they basically saw Rosewood and they were jealous, they had the power to take them out and get away with it. And unapologetic about it. White people, just recently, a place called Bruce Beach, I think it was California, they gave the land back. And white people took it back a century ago, right? And it just now got it back. It was a beachfront. They took millions of acres of land from Black people in America. And so the bottom line, why? Because we're powerless. We can't do anything about it. We can't stop regentrification. We can't stop the drugs in our community. Being power, we're sitting ducks. There's no way in the world that I'm gonna freaking co-sign, you know, thing. No, I'm not scared of it. Nat, come on, bro. I ain't scared of white men. It's basically telling you the reality. We don't have the means because you salute the flag. If I basically say I'm an American, I'm an American citizen, that means that I gotta rely on the white man to solve our problems. I don't want that anymore. I want it so that we have a nation of our own, right? And basically what happens is if you fuck up or whatnot, you're going to be dealt with by a Black judicial system. You know, that's what I want, you know? All this nonsense, and the reason why we don't have it because we don't have the power of reward and punishment. You can't tell Pookie to stop because you don't have the means to give him jobs. And oh boy, here comes Nakmezy. You don't have the means to give Pookie and Ray Ray any alternative, right? So you can't expect to punish him. So you're at the first of the white man. Come on, Mr. White Man, clean up our neighborhoods and everything like that, you know? Go ahead, Nak.
Salute, brothers. How y'all doing, man?
On,
I'm over here in the belly of the white beast out here in Europe. I'm still getting it. The white man can't stop me from getting nothing. White supremacy is really only home court advantage. The opposite of white supremacy is Black inferiority. Neither one of you, neither am I inferior to any white man on this planet. Stop giving that man so much power in your words. I'm telling you, if immigrants can do it, we can do it. We're not going to leave and just be their hoes when they're done with us and just go away so that they can have the fruits of our ancestors' labor. F that.
I'm not, hold on. I think we're talking about two different things, Nak, you know? Now, you say don't leave in the fruits of our labor. I never said give the freeze, but I'm saying is this, though. Why can't Black people in America, right? It's like I said, the bottom line is, as you say, to the victor belongs the spoils, right? And the white man, through everything he's done and whatnot in America, he has a power. He has a power of saying over everything, you know, in America. Okay, he's the one who bringing the immigrants over here. Let's say you say I believe you, the immigrants are taking everything from Black America, right? What exactly can you do about it?
I never said that. I never lost a job to a black immigrant.
Oh, I know what I'm saying, but there's a lot of people in your camp. I listen to you guys, man. You guys taking shots. I listen to you guys all the
Well, talk about me, brother. You got a live one. You
Yeah,
have to
hold
quote
on.
me. I
Nat.
tell you, I never lost a job to a black
I never
immigrant.
did it. I never either. But do you a lot of you guys are over there, right, in your camp?
It's not you
That,
guys, it's me. Keep it
oh,
to
I know,
me, brother. This is
but
what y'all do. Y'all run around.
You
You
got
got a
you got to
live
hold
one,
Nat, you
brother.
got to
Fred
hold that L.
Sanford.
Nat, you got to hold that L, bro.
No,
There's a
no, no,
lot
no,
of
no.
people in
I'm an
FBA
independent thinker,
immigrants
brother.
after their jobs.
Wait, but hold on. Here, let me speak to those black people, right? If you're a black American and you've been in America and you're competing with immigrants for low-level jobs, then you failed at life.
Right, I agree with that. That I agree with. That
Okay, so
we agree.
now we're in agreement, right? So now let's start cooking, brother.
All right, go ahead, brother. Go on, bring it on, bro.
Yeah, look, if you want to go to Africa, go. I say go. Do your
Right.
research though. Okay?
That's what
The
we're talking about tonight,
situation.
man. Nobody's saying get bum rush the coast. That's the bum rush the coast theory. The bum rush the coast theory is motherfuckers walk around all day talking about America is man. I gotta get on the plane in Africa and they fuck up. I've never said that. But Monty and I always said, there's a topic of this show tonight is, you get your shit together in America, right, and expand. Brother Knack, there's a lot of African Americans that live in Dubai right now. Right now, should they all come home and basically leave Dubai? They're making money. Dubai is a place of international business and everything like that. I do believe that Africa could build the same thing, and I could think we have an advantage, right? I've never said that black people in America should give up what they have in America. I've never said that. I've never said that it's not evil. We could do both. I've never said anybody shouldn't like that. But what I am saying, like this last week, was I basically had to check a lot of people with this anti-African American talk. And I said, look, man, look. Bottom line is this: black people in America, African America, shouldn't be judged by the lowest common denominator, right? And then when we talk about African immigrants, or Africans, we always got to praise their best and whatnot. Even though we have tremendous success in America, I'm saying like this: the black people. I think that there's black people in America, right, that I know that should be where Bill Gates and Donald Trump is. We need those type of black people. And the only place that's going to really happen, right, is an area where we have some sort of control and the dominant. I think this younger
And
generation.
where's that? Where's
Huh?
that?
Well, I
Where do we
think
have control and
I think
dominance?
that hold on. So let me ask you a question, right? Now, I'm affiliated with in Angola, right? We have the African Gold Bullion Bank and the Precious Resource Bank in Angola, right? We're getting that's going pretty good. And my partner, Mr. Rosenthal, basically is building gold bullion in the Congo, right? Build gold bullion banks and everything like that. It's on a small scale, but it's getting there. Now, Uganda just found 35 billion metric tons of gold. Now, NAC, should there be now? There's an African American investment group, right, that went to Uganda 2 years ago to bring $350 million in a hedge fund over to Uganda. So there must be something over there, right? Should those African Americans pack up and leave, there, or should they basically say, something? We could build smart cities, we could build stuff like that, and we could be global competitors like everybody else is. I think that's a good idea. What say you?
I mean, look, I'm not gonna knock someone for getting money internationally, right? I have a
Well, that's what
passport, it's stamped up. Brother, every time I speak, you cut me, brother. Why do you do this?
okay. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead,
So
brother.
I want you to just try to let me speak, all right? And then we can have a back and forth, a good one, actually. I don't knock black people from to go abroad and earn money and get into the global market. That's what we need to do. Black Americans have been doing that. The lawyer Robert Smith, I think he's the founder of the Trans Africa group. He was doing.
Randall Robinson.
Oh, Randall Robinson. I'm sorry. Thank you, whoever put me on to that. Randall Robinson. I have so many black people in my head. I get it twisted. He's done stuff, uh, you know, on behalf of Mandela. He's put money where his mouth is. That's what we've been doing. So I don't knock people for doing that. But what I'm saying, when we have pushed this narrative that we have no power in America, as if we have power
Collective
in
power.
these other countries. as if we have power in these other countries. It's just not reality. Black people globally are at the bottom in terms of power, right? So I'm not going to leave a place where I have more power to go to a place where I have even less because I'm not culturally connected. You see what I'm saying? We don't need to leave America to build something in America, or at least to try to fix our communities and help our people in America. If you want to do it in Africa, cool. But like you said, we got to check people that throw shots at Black Americans just on the strength that they think that Pookie and Ray Ray represents all of us. They do not. Pookie and Ray Ray represent those of us that one either need to be um, ostracized, and I'm being nice, from the Black community, or the ones amongst them that can be helped need to be helped. That's what I'm talking about. We can do it in America. You can do it in Africa if you want. But the narrative has been that Black Americans or Black people in America can't do SHIT in American, that we have to
No,
go to Africa.
I never said that. I never said
I
that.
never said that. You said it, right?
I never,
I'm gonna hold you to your words.
I never said that. Let me say something that easy. I was a college genesis. One of the jewels of the college genesis says, exaggeration is the bastard child of what? Enthusiasm. Okay, we have a lot of people who are enthusiastic about Africa, right? See, but Bomani and I was talking about this for the last week and everything. We're talking about the reality, of the continent, reality of a developing country, like even a country like Ghana, who recently just signed up for the IMF. We're not going to let Africa go, but we have to tell the reality. And the reality is, Black people in America need to get their money up in America, right? I mean, deep, right? And also, we have these things that we started called SUSUs, investment clubs, and everything like that. We got a lot of those things in America. But the whole thing is, it's a job of the Pan Africanists, right? Because we have those Black people that got the financial instruments like that, but they're not going to the African continent. And I'm saying like this, as a Pan African, it's my job, right? And it's Pan African job to show people how you could do that and win on the continent of Africa. Now, so far, that has not been easy. Why? Because people know how things work in America, right? You know how money works and everything like that. And people making their money, they getting contracts and everything, right? And we be honest with you, the Africa thing's a little slower, right? And so, therefore, what we're trying to say is this: if we were organized, right, and we had the backing of Black America, we could actually expand. I don't see anything wrong with United One Bank, whatever it's called, right? Open up an office in Johannesburg, open up an office in Cape Town, open up an office in Accra, and stuff like this. I don't see anything wrong with that, and financing stuff like that and making money, building its assets on the African continent. The Chinese have their banks over there. Why aren't we? Why aren't our banks growing? Our African American banks could grow to the size of Western banks just by financing things like mortgage, real estate, shipping. African countries don't have their own shipping lines, right? One of the things you have to have is shipping lines. You have to have banking systems in place for your manifests and everything. So all those services that banks do. And what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying basically is this. We are so used to basically being working class and stuff like that, right? I don't think we even know what it would be like if basically poverty and problems and all that would disappear. I don't think we even know ourselves. And it's also somewhere along the line, right? If we do all these things, right? And you can't have two things occupying the same stage. You're in the martial arts, right? Two things occupying the same space. One has to give. Two forces, right? Like, if Europe is dependent on Africa for its markets, its natural resources, and everything, and Africa decides that we want to do our own thing and everything, be just like the southern states. The southern states say we didn't need the North anymore. They start exporting cotton to England and France and all these other countries and everything directly outside of Wall Street banks and everything. It caused a civil war. So therefore, I'm saying like this: some point in time, the Black race, and I'm saying like this. Now, I mean, I do well in America. I have a business. I'm doing well in America, right? But just something in me, right, saying like when I look at these Europeans and everything like that, they don't seem to impress me that much. And I'm saying to myself, the Black man, we can't call ourselves powerful and Black man with Black power and everything. And you got these little ass Europeans running shit. And just in me, if I see somebody that I see that's running his mouth, he's weak and everything, I'm gonna try to take him out. That's just my nature. You know, and I see these Europeans, and I'm just like, yo, look, man,
Brother,
how the
throw the
hell?
mic back so we can have a conversation because you're hitting on a lot of points
Go
that I
ahead,
want
bro.
to
Go
talk
ahead.
about.
Go ahead, brother.
Can
Good
I
morning, honey. How are
intervene?
you?
As the only continental over here, can I intervene?
Yeah, go ahead,
Because
bro. Go
there
ahead.
seems to be uh, a one-way perspective on a lot of things.
Go ahead, bro.
First of all, when the narrative out there, they're saying Europeans, Chinese control Africa because they got the Bretton Woods agreement out there, the World Trade Organization agreement out there that African countries are signatory to. That is two different dynamics that goes into play. You see, it's what they see outside and the inner workings. Like I'll tell you, not only am I a royal because I'm number 3 in my kingdom to as a custodian of 11,000 years of history. Not only am I that, my dad was up in the upper echelons of government. When I mean like the Secretary of Foreign Affairs. He was one of the leading political scientists, Frobe College, the
What
biggest
country? Let me ask
university.
you, well, you're from Sierra Leone, right?
Yeah, Frobe College, the
Right.
University of Sierra
And
Leone.
we talked before. You and I talked before. Let me ask
Okay.
you. Let me ask you a question, right? And no
But let him
disrespect.
finish his
Okay, go
point
ahead.
before you ask him a question,
Go
bro.
ahead.
I want to hear what he's saying.
Go ahead. All right. Good.
Colin, you have a habit of colonizing chats, brother, and no one can get their point across because you want to ask a question which is really a statement. Let the brother finish and then we can respond after he finishes speaking.
Okay. Now, one way these so-called Europeans, when the African signs as a signatory to those agreements, there are two faces to it. When the African, for example, like I'm here, I went to Johnson C. Smith. Now, I don't know Johnson C. Smith in North Carolina, if you know that. It's a historic black college, right? I went to Central Piedmont and then I went to Johnson C. Smith because to make it cheaper. All these people, when you out here, all these Africans you see out here, they're building their resumes. Because when attractive jobs come up back home, you're qualified. You put in all this time to build your resume. But the primary goal of spending all that money on yourself to build that resume so you're going to be qualified for that job back home is because you got your own personal interest. This how I'm also a card-carrying member of the All People's Congress political party. This how the system is set up. When you go to school, you go to any different industry. You come over here, you work hard, you pay your way. People take loans just to go to certain schools. They work in these Fortune 500 companies to build their resumes. You pay your tithes in the political party. Okay, for like the diaspora, the diasporans over here, I sit on the logistics committee because when they recruit people that have experience in logistics, I got degrees in that area, and I got a wealth of resume. My resume is rich because I work for logistics companies. So when we win the elections back home, we are the ones that are taken into consideration for these big jobs. Now, when I don't do it personally, I tell you that I'm a businessman, but I still sit in there, those committees. But I know my peers that do that. When they get into those positions, it's payback time. Okay? You repay yourself. For example, I give you somebody very close to me. I don't want to name his name to implicate anything. Is what the CEO of one of the leading banks in Sierra Leone, one of London School of Economics, worked for a lot of financial institutions over there, build his resume. Now when the bank wasn't doing that good. Now he got a portfolio of over 100 and something million. Now it brings introducing like 25 different products with a compensation plan tied to him and all the people in the recruiting team. That's how you pay yourself. So people are there for their personal interest. That personal interest might be in line with what might look like is the Europeans controlling you. It's not the Europeans controlling you. It's just so big that you're gonna need access to foreign exchange. You gotta repay yourself. That's why they put you in those positions. So you can compensate all your hard work, you, your team, and all the people within the political party. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's no control of Europeans coming. If Africans don't want to sign up to no signal, all they're gonna do is pass an embargo. If they pass an embargo like Zimbabwe situation, and you don't grow your own food, you don't have your own industries, yeah, you may suffer in the short term, but in the long term, if you apply yourself and get everybody to work, you can sustain yourself. You see what I'm trying to say? So the Africans are not dummies. That they say Chinese are gonna come in and tell you, hey, you gotta do this and do that. Yeah, selling products like medicines. Okay, that's why you need foreign exchange, importation of medicines, importation of other raw materials, importation of food. You need access to the world system because the World Trade Organization, the dollar is the medium of exchange. Most of these other African countries, their money is not convertible. But push comes to shove, there are myriads of programs back home. Myriads of like rice, which is the #1 import in Sierra Leone. We have 200 varieties. It's a whole university that does research for the past 30 years that produce 200 varieties of rice. 200 varieties of rice.
The markets on Sierra Leone, where did the most efficient rice come from?
The most efficient rice comes from Njala. That's in the south. Okay, that's why the university is big.
Sierra Leone grows its own rice and doesn't import.
That's where you want the answer to that. The answer to that is when people, I'm telling you, when these people come in and put in their own personal interest first ahead of the country's interest, you have a task force for importing rice. It's not an intellectual gap. It's not that the institutions are not available. Even the farmers, everybody wants access to so much dollars that what you do is you produce crops for exports like cashew. Okay, when you don't have no added value to it, there are all myriads of crops that are grown just because people want accessibility to the dollar.
Let me ask you a question.
So they're putting their own personal interest.
Let me ask you, Amara, a question about that, right? As far as logistics, right? Now, when you sell cashews and stuff like this, right? How does the supply chain work, right? Who basically, do you deliver that stuff to the market abroad, or does somebody basically you ship it, put it on their ships, and they take it back?
No, you have you basically have an agreement. Most of those people who buy the raw material, like the Vietnamese,
why is the Vietnamese halfway across the world?
No, wait a minute. They have the processing, okay? They have the processing in place, okay? Then they also got a market. The market is not in the hands of the African. The market is in the hands of the Europeans, are the ones that buy that stuff. You see what I'm trying to say? Processing the know-how is in the hands of the Vietnamese.
Oh, let me ask you.
But,
Hold on. Let me. I know Nat Beasley wants to get here, but let me ask you a question, right? Now, you said something interesting, right? Now, I'm sitting there taking notes, right? You said a lot of Africans, right, who are coming over here getting their degrees, okay? And I'm gonna say this with respect, right? In all due respect, right? Like I said, one thing we have to do, we all black men, it's our nature to be proud and everything like that. And we're gonna respect your country and everything like that, because just like you could point out stuff in Black America that we ain't doing right, well, I'm gonna have to respect like this. The Vietnam, right, was basically destroyed after the Vietnam War. Nothing. Then Saigon was once the pearl of Southeast Asia, was leveled, destroyed everything, right? How did the Vietnamese catch up, right? And they're basically playing imperialist games, right? And selling you guys rice, fish, and everything, and basically they're doing the processing offshore. How come you said the know-how? It's all about know-how, right? Why is it that between Ford Bay College agriculture and our agricultural institutions in America, right? Howard, whatever, Morehouse, whatever. How come we haven't figured out a way, right? Because we have the capital in America. Black people sit on city councils in America, right? Which they have sovereign wealth and they invest their money overseas and everything like that. Plus, they got federal goals, the overseas private initiative corporation, right? Who invest hundreds of millions of dollars in developing countries. How come we haven't take the brains out of your side and everything like that and say, you know something, we could process this right here, right? And also, since you're in the United States, right? You're in the United States, right? We could.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me say this. Paul Kagame did this with tea, and Uganda did that with coffee. They made their own finished product brand and sold them on eBay and Alibaba. You know, so they bypass all the middlemen and whatnot, and they process the coffee grinds right there. Some of the African coffee, right? Sometimes they sell them into processors, and also they got into coffee stands like Starbucks, you know, which they franchise out, and people buy the raw coffee from them and make espressos and stuff like this. What I'm saying is this, though. I don't know if it's a West African thing, whatever, but the whole thing is there's no reason why whatever you're growing in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and everything can't be processed there. And also with the technology we're ahead, there's a 7 billion, 9 billion people on this earth. You could basically send your agents and everything like that to sell your product. You don't need these other people. We're convinced that we need these people to buy our stuff, process our stuff and everything. And they give you peanuts for it and everything instead of adding value to stuff and marketing and create several brands of your product and everything. And next thing you know, you got billions of dollars flowing through Sierra Leone. That's how
it's not a West African thing. It's not a West African thing. It's not a lack of know-how.
No, what I'm saying is it's almost like a lack of will.
What you're targeting. No, I'm gonna answer your question. Okay, now I'm about to take you into the realm of the World Trade Organization. That's how these treaties are signed. Okay. Now you remember when Trump came to power? What did he do to the Chinese?
Trump gave a middle finger to the World Trade Organization.
Exactly. You know? Fine. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Africa. Why can't?
No, but wait a minute.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait a minute. That shows how people have double standards. These markets that you're talking about, that Africa is supposed to have these processed goods that sell to the market. Trump exposed how people have double standards. For example, in China, 50% of the company you can't go past 50% ownership. There are 14 industries in China that are banned. Not only China, a lot of Asian countries that are banned. The European Union is notorious for going behind people the back door of a lot of agreements. You want to talk of compilation? It's not what is written on paper. It's people that follow rules. The European Union, the Chinese and America are notorious for breaking rules. They only follow rules in the beginning. When the industry lose, they find a different way. There are myriads of ways. Or, for example, produce. There are myriads of ways of coming with different audits. They audit you, they scrutinize, All the things got a shelf life. All produce got a shelf life. It's easy to come up with any kind of scrutiny to delay. When they lose, that's a backdoor. So what is written is an unwritten rule.
Well, I know all about this, bro. They did this to the Ghana in their orange. And
that's what I'm saying. What you don't understand what I'm saying? Like Ghana and cocoa.
I understand exactly what you're saying. You know,
Ghana and cocoa.
Amara,
Ghana and cocoa. No, listen. Ghana and Ivory Coast got a monopoly on cocoa. Where you have a monopoly, you win. So that's not the norm. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
you can't apply
Ghana doesn't make its own chocolate. The president of Ghana went to Spain and said it's up to you guys to teach us how to make chocolate. And chocolate's not that easy.
No, Ghana now they made an agreement that Ghana, Switzerland, all Switzerland companies should produce all their cocoa in Ghana now.
They say chocolate.
The chocolate, fine, chocolate, finished product. Okay, but now that's because Ghana and Ivory Coast have a monopoly on cocoa beans. You see what I'm saying? So you can't take, that's a specific issue. You can't take that to generalize every other products. We don't have a monopoly on all cash products. You see what I'm saying? Where you have a clear majority, you can win. Where you don't, they find somebody else.
Let me ask you a question. Mar, right? Now, we all agree that, okay, black people in America, right, are the biggest consumers of everything, you know, in America, right? Not only that, right, if you had a finished product, right, we have black people in hotels, businesses, and everything like that to sell the product directly to, okay? So what you're saying, telling me is this: you're dependent on European markets, right? Because they're going to be the ones buying the product when you grow them. So that puts them in it puts you in a precarious situation, whereas you don't have any power to dictate anything because it's markets. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, how did the Vietnamese get in the same position? Now, the cashews, the Vietnamese are buying it for their own end consumption? I'm ignorant on this, so I want to know.
Okay, Vietnamese, you're going to the realm of PPP, which is purchasing power parity. Okay, now
so
you look at
a Ponzi scheme, or are they actually buying it, processing it for their local consumption? You know, that's what I want to know.
Okay, no, I'm just saying, for example, Sierra Leone can produce cashew all by itself, but it will struggle to sell it in the world market. Okay, because where to get more bang for their buck is countries that have a high per capita income. For example, in the United States, the per capita income is what? 54,000, the medium. So that consumer got a lot of purchasing power. You see what I'm trying to say? Right. Now, like in African countries, for domestic African food, you know, we don't have that problem. You see what I'm saying? Is the other products that excuse me, it's fireworks around here. I'm around my house. I'm sorry. This kids out here, I'm doing all kinds of whatever. So that's the thing. The other crops that are out there that other people need, other countries need as a vital components to do whatever. That's a separate issue. You see, for example, in Sierra Leone, we grow country rice. Everybody eats country rice. It's grown in ounces. Cocoyam, cassava leaves, all the things that you eat locally. We don't have that problem. You see what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah. I say, so in other words, basically, let me ask you a question, though. What changes that is when you start building like smart cities and stuff like that, where people are living on the grid. What you're saying is most people live off the grid. They live on subsistence farming, right? Subsistence living. What happens when people start moving into cities? You start building hotels, restaurants, supermarkets, and most people in your country have refrigerators where they're buying stuff, storing it, and stuff like that. They're not eating on a daily basis. They just basically buy food like they buy in the supermarket, and you start your own food processing and canning industry.
No, those industries, they're local industries right there. They're produced locally for local consumption. Okay, then the scenario you're talking about, people going to the supermarket, that's limited to the big cities. You go to the small towns and the villages, they off grid. You see, so it's only the big city people and the towns are the people that need the imports from outside. They need to be satisfied with imported outside goods, whilst the towns and the villages, they're on a local diet. You see what I'm saying? The people in the cities are Africans politicians' biggest problems, because they got to have accessibility to the dollar. So when you go out there in the market to buy all these cereals or all these food items and medicines that the urban people in the urban area in cities like the variety, they come up short. That's why sometimes people don't, when they say accessibility to foreign exchange, people think short term. They'll be like, okay, I'm not gonna produce cashew nuts and fight the Vietnamese access to the Chinese market or the European market. That's a big fight. They pick their battles, So since I can't, that's a big fight. Why don't I just produce local materials that don't have the added value right now, but it's giving me accessibility to dollars, because I need necessary dollars to buy medical supplies out there.
Right. So brother Mari, check this out. Do you remember, or I don't know if you remember the 90s. Were you around in the 90s? I don't know what your age is, whatever like that.
Yeah, I'm about to be 50. I'm 49 right now. I'm about to be 50.
Years younger. Okay. Do you remember when President Abacha of Nigeria? Now, I'm not saying Nigeria is a big part, because they had a huge domestic population, and they figured that out because they had, at the time, Nigeria's population was like 130 million people, and they had big cities and everything like that. And basically, they were doing what you guys are doing, trying to export to a place like Vietnam. Then they said, something? They stopped exporting, right? And the reason why you have people and they got into commodities, right? And industries, right? And domestic stuff like that. And they exported the surplus finished goods. Now, I understand Sierra Leone can't do that because you got all this small population. But what I'm saying is this, though. Where's ECOWAS? How is it that Nigeria could do that right back then, right, when they had the World Bank and IMF coming at them and stuff like this? And Abacha got Nigerian inflation down 85%. He got inflation because he said, we don't need to friggin' export raw material and everything. We can produce ourselves domestically and save on our currency and our reserves. And he built Nigeria's modern economy. Because of Abacha, we have Aliko Dangote now and all these Nigerian billionaires who made their money inside Nigeria. So it showed you that you could actually have black power on black soil. You don't have to always deal with Europeans. So Nigerian Dangote, all his cement, all his stuff that he produces comes from his markets are in Africa.
I understand that. You see what you don't understand? I just gave you an example of the characteristic of different African people in different locales.
Right.
Big city Africans are the biggest fans of European, American, and outside brands. Wait a minute. European. They live a European lifestyle. Now, in the city, you go to school, 99% of the people in the city can speak English because the schools are dominant in the cities, right? When you live that European lifestyle, you have to eat their food, you have to live their lives, clothes, and everything. You see what I'm trying to say? There's the option of the African lifestyle in the cities, but the cities are made up of the biggest fans of European consumer goods or American consumer goods. And in order to hit that demand, you need accessibility to foreign exchange. Now, in the towns and the villages, they don't have that problem.
Am I getting shot?
These kids, man. They don't have that problem. You see what I'm trying to say? The towns and the villages, they don't have that problem. the characteristic of let me tell you the African man that lives in the city. The African man that lives in the city, it wants a complete a copy of the European lifestyle, because in the cities, that's where the Europeans really invested. You know, in their culture, that's where their culture has a bigger influence than in the villages and the towns. So in order for you to be considered part of the middle class or the upper class, you have to live a certain lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? And that lifestyle includes consuming and having European accessibility to European consumer goods or American consumer goods, the Western lifestyle. You see what I'm trying to say? So that's the pressure right there on most of these governments. They have to have this accessibility to this dollar, you know, because the demand over there for all these Western goods is there from the city folks. And the city folks are the political play, because most cities have millions of people, you know, and they're educated the European way. You know, they have all these schools and colleges and universities, or all the things laid up like a European city or American city. You see what I'm saying? So those people are more loyal to that lifestyle, and there are millions and millions of them. So that's where the problem is. So even sometimes, even when you produce locally, as a local producer, you have a hard time fighting off an American. Let me say, for example, Frosted Flakes. One of my cousins tried it. The guy got a degree in some different places and being all over the world. Dude came up with a cereal of his own. Tried it in schools. The kids didn't want that. They want Tony the Tiger. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's a fight on its own.
Okay, so let me ask you, Mario. Let me ask you a question, right? Now, everything you just told me, right? These are problems that can be solved. You know, the only reason why they told you Tiger, right? Because you guys didn't create Leo the Lion cornflakes. You know,
There you go again. There you go again.
See, that's what I'm saying. All the problems. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: so Africa, you're saying that people are responding to brand names, right? Those are things you could fix, you know, because marketing, like the same way people got hooked on Tony the Tiger, right? I was when I was a kid, I was a post Super Sugar Chris guy myself. He was a black bear, Super Sugar Chris, you know. He was a brother, man. It was a brother bear. Post Super Sugar Chris cereal, and that was my thing, you know. But the whole thing is branding and stuff like that is important, right? And my problem is this, right? Here's my problem with Sierra Leone and Liberia. Those two countries should be working together, create a common market. There should be a rail line connecting Monrovia, high-speed rail and heavy gauge rail, connecting Monrovia and Freetown, right? There should be a expressway system linking those two cities, right? There should be port terminals connecting Freeport Harbor, right, with the port of Monrovia and down the coast. All the problems that you just said, right, can be solved locally. If you combine Liberia and Sierra Leone, you have almost 10 million people. By any stretch of the imagination, 10 million of anything is good. So, so all the problems. See, the whole thing is this. What a problem I have with my brothers and sisters in Africa is this. And like you said, everybody's trying to be a big man. Everybody's trying to be individualistic and stuff like this, you know, and no one's working together. No one's even. I mean, even if you don't agree, no one's even having this conversation. Why are African countries still isolated? There's a reason why Europeans never built cities. African.
Yo, like, are y'all ever gonna pass me the mic though?
Oh, Matt, you can always speak up. I'll wait for you to say.
Nah, but I cleared the way so he could make his point.
All right, he made his point.
And he kept going.
Go ahead,
and then you were throwing it back and forth to him. This was you and I in originally.
I asked one of my questions, man. Go ahead, bro.
So to our original topic, you know, which is kind of lost now, but we could keep it to where it is. I'm gonna combine it actually, right? Your point was that we have to go there because we're powerless in America. I just listened to a Sierra Leonean school you on how it really goes in Africa as far as
Now,
business
told
is
him about
concerned.
Nigeria. Nigeria did the opposite. I gave him some advice. We can work together.
Wait, but hold on, brother. Why is you talking though?
Go ahead, Nat. Go ahead, bro.
No. But see, listen, you can y'all think that y'all can't learn shit from me, right? But what you can learn is discipline and listen. Every time I get 3 words out of my mouth, you cutting me, asking me questions, making comments. Just listen, brother. I'm gonna throw it to you,
I'm
then
mute.
we can have a back and forth.
I'm muting. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I heard a brother just school you on how it is in his country, right? And that same brother went where? To America to build up his resume, get the education, and then go back to where his country so he can make a difference. So when you say that Black Americans have no power and that we basically have to leave, you have a brother that, like a lot of Africans, are going to America to take advantage of this so-called system that a lot of Pan Africans hate. I'm saying don't scare our people out of taking advantage of these same systems that everyone else is taking advantage of. The Asians, the whites, the Africans, the Caribbeans, they're coming to America to go to school, to get the knowledge, to get military experience, and go back and build their countries. America is our country. Whether you like it or not, you can't cook on Sierra Leone like he did. You can't cook on Liberia like a Liberian can. That brother right there is a card carrying member of a political party, right? You can't do that because you're not connected. The moment they have a meeting in their language, guess what? You're going to start feeling real Black Americanish. And this is my point. Don't scare Black Americans from taking advantage of what they have in America, talking about how powerful the white man is and we can't do nothing, so we got to go to Africa. No. If I put you in Africa right now with the same resources that a local African can, you'll be a fish out of water. But if you go to Africa with Black American privilege, and that's what no one's talking about, and this Black American privilege is money, it's the perception that you've taken advantage of the educational and business structure in America and that you can apply it to Africa. But everybody's not like that. So when you say just, save your money, go to Africa, no, it's so much more complex than that. There's political issues, and I'm not even saying to the negative. You have to know how to navigate the political structure, the ethnic structure. There's a lot of coulda, shoulda, woulda coming from Pan Africans like you. Well, they should just build a railroad. They just should. Where are they going to get the finances? Y'all speak from points of just like, if they do this and if they do that, they should just do this and they should just do that, when you never ever lived in those people's shoes. So when you talk about Africa for the Africans, you don't say things that sound like you're trying to jump on the bandwagon at the last stop or the next to the last stop and try to start money grabbing at their resources and their land. That is dark-skinned colonizer talk. Uganda, they found gold. Guess who should benefit from that? Not me and you.
Well,
Because you said, wait, hold on, brother. I'm not finished.
Good.
Not me and you, because you sitting in the crib with air conditioned, beautiful fan, Wi-Fi, and internet. Those who suffered in Uganda because they have not been beneficiary to the natural resources in there should be the first people to benefit from it. Not Black Americans who live from a point of privilege to jump in on the last edge of the race, like, yo, okay, now be back. Because then what you're doing is just, brother, why can't you just be quiet, bro?
You gonna land? You saying a whole lot, man.
No. Hold on. I didn't eat a bowl of cereal, had a whole conversation with my family, was quiet, and I can't get 3 minutes out without you interrupting me. No. You're not gonna rush me because this truth is banging you, and I'm gonna give you the mic so that you can say your point. You gotta let me finish, and you can't rush me. This is the thing. You and I are supposed to have a back and forth, but then you avoided it. You avoiding it. I'm tired of hearing y'all talk all of this Africa shit from the comfort of America. And then you talk about Africa like you know more than an African does. You don't. If this brother were to bring you to a political meeting, you'd be lost in the sauce. You'd be saying stuff that might spark off a war. You might be saying stuff that might make you look like an idiot because you don't understand how it works on the ground. Y'all say, y'all should do this. Y'all should do that. Y'all should take over your governments. Okay, that's cool to say from America, but unless you heard the ammo from an AK-47 whizzing past your head just because you want to protest in the streets, that shit sound hot until you really on the streets, until you really research Sierra Leone police brutality. Then you start changing your tunes. So my thing is this: if you want to go to the continent, prepare, but stop trying to shit on Black Americans on saying that we're powerless, as if going to Africa is somehow going to give you this magical power. Now I'll give it back to you.
Okay, now first one, you said a whole lot of stuff. I never said that Black people, when the brother was saying that he's getting education and everything, I said that's a perfect thing. And you conveniently leave out the fact that I said, look, we have people in America, right, that basically can help you link together. It's all Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism don't necessarily somebody has to go to Africa. You know, I think you putting words in my mouth. I never said. I would think the majority.
Did you not say that Black Americans we're powerless in America?
Hold on. I'm saying like this.
Wait, answer that question so we can go forward. Did you not say Black Americans are powerless in America? This is a very important thing, because if you didn't say it, then I'll apologize. Did you not say that Black Americans are powerless in America?
No, I'm saying collectively, individually, we got power.
Wait. Did you say that we are powerless in America?
I'm saying, Mac.
Yes, you did.
Hold on. I said we don't have the power to enforce our collective will in America. That's what I said. I didn't say we're powerless.
No, now what you're doing is you're putting salt, pepper, and ketchup on what you said was Black Americans had no power in America, bro.
Hold up.
Look, you're not gonna hold up me and try to cut it off. Answer the question. Simple. You said that we had no power, but you have no power on the continent.
No, that's what you said. I said. I did not say that. You know,
you did say
what
it.
You want to say that's a straw man argument. I did not say that. Nat.
No, you said we had no power in America.
No, I said Black people collectively have no power to enforce their will in America. You know, I said anytime something happens, like when those girls got blown up in Birmingham, Alabama, and Malcolm X said, man, we don't have any power to enact revenge on them. You know, we don't have any power like that. We had this group.
So there you say we have no power, and I countered with the second most powerful man in the world is a Black American.
So tell me
why you stuttering, bro?
Hold up, Nak. See, you said you gonna let me talk. Now you interrupted. You know, see what I'm talking about?
No, because I'm not gonna let you wiggle away from the question. You said that Black Americans were not powerful in America.
Let me respond, right? Let me respond. Then
you respond truthfully, though. Go on.
Whatever I say, then you come back and say, Kyle, you were wrong. It's like, I never said Black people are powerful. We got powerful people. I talked in the start of the show about Reginald Lewis, right? I talked about John Johnson, all these Black powers and like that. I said in America, collectively as a Black, even the Black people like Robert Smith, he can't do much for Black America, right? Because he knows, we understand that he's operating the system. You know, and I see Black people in power in America. I understand they can't say certain things and everything like that, right? I'm saying the white.
So we have no power. So where do we have power, brother? What's the answer? What's the answer? Going to Africa?
Nah. You keep what's this Africa, man? We're talking about Black people right now, you know? You keep jumping to Africa like I'm saying.
Because that's your whole narrative, brother. That's your whole narrative.
Hold on, Nak. You're saying Colin's saying bum rush the coast and just
I didn't say that.
Like I'm saying bum rush the coast tomorrow, man.
Colin, I'm gonna meet you where you are and how you communicate, which is why I keep cutting you off.
Tomorrow,
Colin, I guarantee you, if you have a back and forth with me, I will cook you. Have a back and forth with me right now. Let's have a back and forth right now without cutting each other off. Wait, hold on. without
Oh man, you didn't let me finish
cutting
my
each other
point,
off,
bro.
without stuttering. Let's just get the issues out.
All
When
right,
you
go ahead.
say
Go ahead.
something, stand on it, brother.
You
Your
look,
whole
but
narrative
hold,
has
hold on,
been
but don't tell me to stand on a
has
pile of
been
shit, man. And I didn't take the shit, man.
wait, hold
My
on.
statement
But
was
your
that
whole narrative is how we
don't
can't do
throw
it in
shit
America.
next to me and say stand on your shit. I didn't take that pile of shit standing next to me, man. Come on, man. You
So
know,
then
I'll stand on what I
what's
said.
the answer for Black Americans? Because this is
Okay, I look,
when I came
okay.
on, you were
Hold
throwing shots at Black
on,
Americans.
hold on.
That's why I
First of all,
clicked the link.
The whole thing, the point of the show tonight was we were talking about people taking shots at Black Americans. Now I want to clarify, and here you come with ADOS FBA taking shots at me, and I came on this
Well,
show
first of
tonight
all, I didn't
to
wait.
defend Black Americans.
When did I say ADOS FBA in this conversation,
That's
brother?
it's like I'm on Twitter, man. I hear you guys on stuff,
No,
man.
wait, there you go. You guys, but you have a live one in me.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
none of these other
you're
people.
giving me
I'm not none of these other
you're giving
people.
me all the ADOS FBA
No,
talking
no, no,
points
no.
now,
Okay, well, then tear them apart right
Okay,
now.
all right.
You
Well,
have
I'm
the
saying,
chance.
I can look. I
Captain
look.
Pan African and tear down the whole ADOS movement now. But I guarantee you won't, because you think you know about how Africa works, but you
Okay,
have no
look,
fucking idea.
Knack. Let me say this. Right now, the brother was saying some good points about Sierra Leone. We're trying to build.
Yeah, he schooled you.
Hold on. You didn't school me nothing. But all the stuff he talked about, I already knew. We already knew. And he talked about Sierra Leone, and I said, okay, it's different in Nigeria. It's different in this country. It's different in Angola. Every country is different. So he said himself, but you didn't listen carefully. Said this is something unique to Sierra Leone. It's different, maybe in the Gambia. So he was talking about his experience in his particular country. Okay, so Ghana is different. Nigeria is different. So every country is different. And I said, look, and I just as an observer, I just gave my opinion about this. Now, you could take it for whatever it's worth and everything. Who am I? You're right about that, Knack. Who the hell am I?
But it's not opinions, brother. It's not opinions. Y'all speak as if you're an authority on Africa. Y'all speak as if you're an authority. And hold on, brother. Hold on. Give me a second. Y'all speak as if you're an authority on Africa and you've never lived there. That brother can even speak as a wait, hold on, brother. Listen. You got a live one. You got a live one. You got a live one. He can be more of an authority on America because he's lived there.
Your whole
You've
thing is,
never lived in Africa.
look at the beginning of the show, right? When you jumped on, right?
I'm here
I said,
now. I'm here now.
Hold on. At the beginning of the show,
I'm here now.
Hold on. No. I'm talking about when you jumped on. When you jumped on, right? You said, why are we going? Look, nobody's saying, look, I'm like this. If you are in America, right? You're in America. Only people I want to see, and if you listen to the whole show, right? The people that got the means, right? The brothers that went to Uganda, right? They invested $350 million, right? I said that's a good thing, right? If those basically like the Mark Blanton and his wife, who are doing I met Mark Blanton here in Virginia a few years ago. Him and his wife are down there in South Africa doing tremendous work. African Americans are going there every day on tours, buying property, everything, opening businesses in South Africa right now, right? I think that's a good thing. Now, if somebody says, you know something, right? I want to move to DeSoto, Texas, right? There's a Black community over there. I'm like this, go for it, right? Anything, if people that's basically want to rebuild Detroit and everything, invest in Detroit, whatever and everything, I'm like, hey, go right ahead. Wherever Black people are going to be happy and build, I'm all for it. But what you're taking it as Pan-Africans, like, let's bum rush the coast. I'm not a bum rush the coast Negro. There's bum rush the coast Negroes.
Neither am I. I'm taking you at your word, brother. I'm taking you at your word.
Never heard that come out of my mouth. I never said bum rush.
And I never said that you said bum rush the coast. I understand you say, hold on, listen, brother, you suffer from lack of listening, brother. But when an African gets on, I'm gonna keep it 100. When an African gets on, you Pan-Africans just bow and buckle at the knees. But when the Black American, wait, hold on. But when the Black, hold on, listen, bro. But when a Black American who knows what he's talking about speaks, you want to say, "Oh, it's ADOS FBA." I never even said that in this conversation.
But you're doing that.
Wait, hold on. When Amara spoke, you was quiet. You was church mouth status. When I wait, hold on. When I speak, and listen to you right now. Look at you, double dutching. Your mouth is your mouth is quivering to open. Your mouth is quivering to open. The difference is is
I
I'm
made
not
my point.
scared. I'm not scared for your response. That's why I let
But
you
you're not letting me
speak.
finish, man. How
But
can
wait,
you're
hold
not letting
on,
me
because
finish?
I'm not done talking though. This is the measure of a person who's scared of the smoke. When I open my
Yo,
mouth,
you gotta
you
you
start.
now you
Wait,
gotta
wait.
put the
There you
smoke.
go
You gotta
again.
take
There you go
all your
again.
put
There
words
you
in my
go
mouth.
again. Hold on. There you go again. Because you're scared.
I
Yo,
Now
Kala,
give
Nat,
me 30
you
seconds
gotta
of
let
silence. Give
you
me
gotta
30
land with
seconds of
that.
silence, and I'll explain to you why you're
I'll
scared.
sit right here. Let go
30
ahead and
seconds
make
of silence.
go ahead and make your
30
point.
seconds of silence. Maybe Bomani might be trying to save your ass right now, but give me 30 seconds of silence, and I'm gonna show why you're scared.
Yo, this is
I,
a
You're
I mean,
discussion, man.
scared.
Yeah,
I
You're
want
nobody's scared,
scared.
man.
You're
Come on,
scared
go ahead
because
and say
no,
what you
no, no,
gotta
no,
say,
no.
man.
I'm because
second.
you already demonstrated that you won't let me speak.
Well, go
But
ahead.
I'm not
I
gonna let
said
you
I'll mute
bully
myself.
me.
Go ahead,
So then
finish.
be quiet. Don't unmute yourself. Let the mute button be your friend, brother. Let the mute button be your friend. When someone is scared, and I'm speaking to the chat, what they'll do is they'll wait until you start saying something that's against theirs that they can't
I thought you were
counteract
gonna
with
speak.
real
Why you talking
knowledge.
about this? I thought
Wait,
you were gonna
wait,
speak.
wait, 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 wait. Mute yourself, brother. Mute
I thought you
yourself.
were gonna speak, man. You said 30
This,
seconds.
this dude has no emotional control and he has no discipline. It's because he wants to filibuster the conversation so we don't actually have it. When he speaks, I'll listen. When I speak, he cuts me off because he doesn't want to get the info out. Ask your, ask your, ask the question, people. Why does he act like he knows and everything is coulda, shoulda, woulda, and y'all should do this and y'all should do that, and he's not in a position to say that because he didn't live on the continent. He doesn't understand. He understands everything from a Pan African standpoint, and most African countries are not Pan African. That's what he's not getting. He comes from a school of Garveyite, which had a tinge of the diaspora needs to save the African because we're the ones that know how to do it better than that. I couldn't tell an African born on a continent shit about how to run their country because it's their country. You speak about Uganda's gold, that's black colonizer talk. If Uganda has gold, let the Ugandans who've dealt with all the nonsense, the poverty, and the bullshit growing up in Uganda, sending their kids to the diaspora to send back money to help their family, let them enjoy that. Don't jump in the end of the marathon talk about, yeah, we did it, y'all, we did it. Meanwhile, you only ran 4 blocks when they've
Well,
been running it their whole life. I'm not finished.
thanks for that commentary, Nack Measy. We'll take that
Wait,
into
I'm
consideration.
not finished though. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. And you're not gonna fucking treat me like a son, homie. I'm a
Nack,
real
come
one.
on, you
So
said 30
stop
seconds.
it.
Come
No, no,
on.
no. Fuck it 30 seconds, homie. I was here eating bowls of cereal, getting my kids ready for school. Quiet. You demonstrated that you don't know shit about what's going on, literally, with the actual business, how it goes,
But
right?
you didn't
And
prove
then
anything. So just go ahead,
no,
man.
no, no. What I'm proving is that you have an anti-Black American stance, and as Africans coming to learn in America, living amongst Black Americans, and going back home to fix their countries. I'm
You missed
saying
the
Black Americans should take advantage of what we have in Black America and fix our communities. You talking about someone who put 350 million in this African country, someone who did, yo, we got hoods in America that need help. We got to fix our own shit, and whatever's left over, then you can do some global shit. You
well.
can't fix you can't fix Liberia when people's busting gunshots, out the windows in Hampton, Virginia. You got to worry about Hampton
Look, Nack,
first.
all right, Nack, you don't let me. You don't let me. Let somebody get Ezra's wife. Thank you. All right, now,
I'm
now,
gonna be
point
quiet
now.
now. Watch me
First,
mute myself. Watch
hold
me mute myself, and I won't even interrupt you. This is how a
on.
man does it.
All right,
Go.
all right. Now, Nat said that was very impassionate and whatnot. There's a lot of people who feel like that. We can't just bum rush the coast, raise our flag, and talk about eyes in Africa now and whatnot. I never said that. In fact, man, I only said that the people who are doing well, like brother Bomani right here, been going to Africa 16 years. This brother has a lot invested. Took 500 people to the continent and everything. I rock with Bomani. Brothers that doing stuff on the continent and everything. I have the BAL, my organization. I have chapters in each country and everything. I have members in each country and everything. I know what I'm talking about, Nac. I got Nigerians and Zambians, brothers talking together. I got Sierra Leoneans. I got a new guy just came from the Gambia and whatnot, Elijah. He's probably watching right now. Joined heard Kurt called Genesis say, I want to join. Why? I never once said, I said, look, this is, like I said, what Nac is doing is this, right? And I said this, right? Because I knew people like that will say this, right? I said, look, remember I said about the wasps and everything? whatever we're doing, right? This is for what? Not for me. You know, it's not for Kala. It's for future generations to have an option. I know that's unusual for Black people, right? Because we're used to instant gratification. What am I do now and whatnot? I'm saying whatever we're talking about doing now, whether I'm giving this brother advice, his brother give me advice and everything, it's for future generations to have something better that we have. And I said that we cannot keep going on where one race of people, right, have the power, right? He said, like what Brother Marge is saying, the Vietnamese are over there taking advantage of them. He talked about it. That was lost with Nakmeezy because he didn't acknowledge that, right? And I learned something new. I knew having an idea, but he said like this. So the future is, even though that's going on right now or not, because of this broadcast, somebody's gonna watch it and say, you know something, let's change that. It might be some African Americans, Caribbeans, and some other people from the diaspora get with Sierra Leone and say, you know, what can we do to change that? It's not about us right now, right? And that's what this work is all about. That's what real Pan-African is all about. It's not what I can get right now. So when Nak makes a call that you want to get my hands on the goal, I don't want the Uganda goal. In my years of doing this, man, I spent thousands of money. I invested lots of money in Liberia. I've never made a dime off this movement. I never sold anybody anything. I have my book out there, my novel, which I wrote, which is a masterpiece, right? And I have people that want to publish, make it into a movie, and looking at it now to make this into a movie. Bottom line is this: I have never made a dime off this movement. I never asked for a contribution, super chat. I never did anything. I do this because I know it's supposed to be done, and it's something in my soul that I feel that I'm doing right. Am I perfect? Do I make mistakes? Yes, right. But bottom line, I never told Black America that give up on anything. I'm like this. I am proud to be African American. I call myself African American. I'm Black African American. My ancestors have been here since the 1600s. Right, I'm 100% African American. Right, my family, everything. Somebody says something about African Americans and whatnot. You're talking about my people. You're talking about my family. I'm African American first. Just like brother made me Sierra Leone first, Nigerian first. I'm African American, Black American first. You know. And I'm saying how the Pan-African movement, right, which I'm a part of, right, could be part of what the Black American experience is, you know, just like you got people who have different things where this part of the experience. It's not everything. It's not the answer to our prayers and everything. It's just one thing that we should expand on, not for me, but for future generations, the next generation coming up. What Bomani's doing, what I'm doing on the continent and stuff like that, what Mark Platt is doing, the next generation will have other options. The world will be different. You're going to have African Nigerians and African Americans, right, going to school together, doing business together, joining fraternities together. Fraternities are lifetime partnerships. Isn't that a bit better? Will it solve the problem of white supremacy? Well, yeah, no, but it's going to give us a fighting chance. And that's all we could do for the next generation. It's not about me. It's not my personal gain. You know, I have nothing personal to gain from all this, right? It's about the next thing. That's why I'm going. We're doing this tour next year to Liberia with Bomani, right? I'm doing why? Because we're going to set the precedent up next year where the first time African Americans and diasporas are coming to Liberia as investments and tourism. You know, the first Pan-African tour to Liberia. And Bomani got a full schedule next year, 6 countries next year, you know, and I'm going to be part of that. And so that's what we're doing. We're not going to solve the problems of Africa. We're not going to do all stuff like that, but we're going to play our part. That's all I say. And so when Nakmeezy says, you Pan-Africans, he's not talking about collagenesis. Everybody knows me. You know, I'm not here to play games. I'm not here for some get-rich-quick scheme, whatever like that. I'm like that. I'm here because I know this is the right thing to do. This is what's in my soul. This is my heart. And this is what I've been working on for most of my life.
Appreciate your brother, Kala, and Nakmeezy. Appreciate your energy. Family, definitely just want to share one or two things. And, just definitely want to make sure people hear the different perspective. And the way I'm looking at it, which is what we do as far as Africa for Africans, is the goal of our operation 100% is to do more business with our people, whether we're in Africa or America or wherever we are, and build a foundation operation on the African continent to this, make it to where we can just do back and forth business. And we know the reality is, if someone was to ask me what percentage of our people would repatriate if they had certain things organized or repatriate, I would just give us a very basic number, 0.1% or 1%. So that means, regardless if you look at that number, the majority of our people will be still here in America.
Right.
So
I
the
would say
point
the most 3%, 3 or 4%. That's it.
so the point of us setting up in Africa is to do business with more with our own people. And I appreciate Nakmizi sharing a stance that a lot of people do carry, and that's one of them.
And Bomani, we respect that.
We're not like that. That's not our
Bro, why are you cutting Bomani off? I want you to listen to this, brother. Hold on. I want you to listen to this. What you can learn from, and if you're going to be a part of any successful movement, brother, you're going to have some discipline. You can't even let Bomani speak without cutting him off. I can't speak without you cutting me off. Your mouth is ready to start moving right now because you don't have leadership qualities, brother. You don't. Anybody that follows you would follow you to disaster, brother. If I put you in a council meeting with some politicians or in a business meeting with some people that were going to have a pan-diasporan business agreement, you would destroy it because you'd be cutting people off because instead of listening, you want to talk. You have two ears and one mouth for a reason. Listen twice as much as you speak, brother. Listen. Listen. I'm cutting you off to tell you that you steady cutting people off, bro.
You're cutting them off right now.
Stop cutting people off and listen.
You didn't say you're cutting them off right now.
Now I'm stopping. I'm cutting you from cutting him, like you've been cutting everybody.
You don't have to do that. Bomani's my brother, man. That's my partner.
Bomani's your brother, but you don't listen to your brother though. Stop talking and start listening.
Let him say. Let him tell me that, bro.
Now I'm gonna tell you too because you've been cutting everybody.
No, yeah.
You cut everybody except Amara because he was schooling you. That's what it is.
Schooling me.
And you're lucky we didn't talk about the business partner in Angola. You're dealing with a Jew in Angola. Stop it.
Nak, this ain't the other show. We have intelligent conversation. You don't need to argue like that here, man. We don't do that.
No. Then let the conversations be what they are and let brothers finish their point. Let the brothers finish their point. You will sabotage any movement because you have no control of your mouth. And that's a fact.
All that talk, I'm not gonna do that with you on the show.
Yeah, of course you're not gonna do it with me because I ain't gonna run from it. You steady cutting people off.
On another platform, invite me on your platform.
No. You don't know how to be quiet and listen. That is a huge part of communication.
Bomani was trying to make a point.
Well, let that brother make his point, and you cut his wisdom in the middle of the point, and it just so happens to be when he was speaking about me. It was so happened to be that you cut him when he was giving me props on my different opinion and my different views. That's when you decided to cut him. Listen, brother. Listen, you have to just listen to the replay. And anyone speaks that they say something you don't like, you don't agree with, you cut them off. That's not how a man does. A man will listen when you shut up, and then he'll cut your points after that. That's how you debate like men.
All right, appreciate your brother. Let me continue this one. Make sure everybody get time to this. Share what they want to share. I was saying, Nakmizi, I appreciate your perspective on things because what I'm trying to do is get people to hear all aspects of what we're talking about, which is important because we've seen people who leave America and gone to Africa and done well for themselves. And then we have seen people ruin their lives, and we've seen people who have gotten robbed for their life savings based on the bad deals. So I'm always looking to this use our platform and our energy, Africa for the Africans, which is just our connection from America to Africa, back and forth, and doing business with our people. To deliver this let people know that this is not it's not a romanticized situation. This is hard work. This is sacrifice. And the better we can prepare ourselves, the better we can make this move. So that's why we have that Black Star Pan-African community in Ghana set up. It's a headquarters to this for us to do Black cooperative economic business. No different from just some of us in New York or wherever we are, just putting our energy together and say we're going to put our money together to just build a headquarters of basically an international business operation, trying to get in on honestly the global game. It's like everything is all connected now. You just see, you have more planes than ever, just all over the place. literally just making moves, and you have cargoes in those planes, you have people doing import export making moves, you have factories, manufacturing operation going on. And that's why we're looking to get more and more land to build our own enterprise, to get in on the competition and get in on the market. And also it's to just literally just find the best of our people, whether we're in America or whether we're in Africa. But one of my brother, both of my brothers been trying to explain family is the mindset of some of our people won't play, who don't play, who believe that some of our people just know more than one set of people, and that literally that one set of people are going to fix the next set of people problems and issues. It's unique to feel proud, and I feel proud for where I'm from. Born in Jamaica, living in America, and learning all kind of things that I feel like I can use to run our operation in Africa. And then going to Africa and then just connecting to the culture of things, and learning what I need to learn to make it work, and just I guess learning from our crew, and also this them learning from how some of the efficiency of how I like to do certain things. So it's one of those things, man. Families, we go back and forth with certain things, and I'm always hear the debates about the different set of people, but been doing this operation as an international operation, and just want to let people know, yo, family, it's all about us getting money all over the place and making these moves. Just like I was telling one of my young brother about joining the military at an early age, and I was like, it's not all about these things that you think about. It's about putting yourself in place to just build something and make some moves, and you got to do what you have to do. So definitely want to let our people know that we're definitely not encouraging our people to just flee from America and feel like they're going to leave America and go to Africa and it's going to solve their problems. I've seen all aspects of it. I've seen people who are thriving, done well for themselves, and I've done interviews. I've been to their house with our camera, with our group. I do interviews. I've done interviews in many cases. And then I have people, a story that I'm not going to put them in camera, but I can just tell, they literally just made some of the worst decisions and came back homeless. And if it wasn't for the American embassy, I don't know how they would get back and get all those things work out. But that's the reality. But we definitely don't want to force anyone to just like feel that they need to do certain things. And that's why I posted the flyer of the tour, because even myself, I've been traveling to Africa for 18 years. Do I live in Africa? Absolutely not. I don't live in Africa. Would I love to live in Africa? Absolutely. Am I working towards putting things in place to live permanently for the rest of my life? Absolutely. And I think that's more worth the time to put in to use the access of what we have here to just make it happen. So we have these incredible tour schedule, and it takes you to different countries. And that connection to different countries is to literally just encourage us doing business with each other, and us also just enjoying an African experience. It's a roots and culture tour. So, you're spending money with your own people, you're doing business. You're also building a bond with your brothers and sisters from America that you're traveling with. The majority of people are usually from America, but you have people from other countries also. But that's close to about 80% of the people that you've seen and these videos that you see traveling with us. But that connection right there is a serious connection. I mean, you're talking about Black people doing global business, and I got my book right here, Blueprint for Black Power. I'll put it up in a few. But that's what we're literally initially doing, and with doing that, you're gonna hear the different sides of egos and the different sides of just misinterpretation of things, and it's rough, man. We've been divided completely across the board, so it's one of those things where I just want people to give us a chance as a people, and let people know that we're not animals trying to just tear each other apart, but we're gonna have these differences on how we look at things and things like that. But I'm telling you, I have my base right here still, and but literally, want to keep, it's that incredible market here. You have so much your own brothers and sisters that you just want to keep on doing business. And I'm talking about if we put some more of our resources in Africa and literally this enterprise, I'm talking about this competing. That's it, literally us putting our energy together to compete. But nevertheless, I want to hear from my brother Amara if he's still there, and then you guys can just go back and forth and just kind of just share your views. It's all good. It's all interesting. I'm enjoying it.
I'm here.
Yes. Yeah, just wanted to let you just chime in and just add to what you just want to share before Kala and Nakmizi go back and forth until somebody get knocked out.
Now, I see both Dagnesi's and Kala point of view. You see what I'm saying? Because out here in America, uh, Nakmizi said one statement and say the brother came over here to America to get education so he can go better. The people back home, that's because politicians signed up to the Bretton Woods agreement. When you sign up, when you're a signatory to these organizations, the white man makes sure they're 100 steps ahead of you. They're already established. They already got the wherewithal before they get everybody else to sign. So the smartest way to do it is just to come to the people that are already established. If you're a newcomer, come to the people that are already established. But again, on the Nakmizi point of view, that Black Americans should build a community in America and focus on America. That's a strong view right there. That's a great view. Also, on the Genesis side, from Genesis side, I see it's just an option for people that were always curious. But majority, me being in America this long, and I can tell you categorically, after 45 million people, 45 million African Americans, maybe the best case scenario, maybe a good 300,000. That's when everything works out good. Might go to Africa. The majority of Black Americans are going to stay here and are going to focus on building this community, having their own problems, trying to solve their own problems. And we on the African side, the continental side, we are behind the eighth ball. All this, even to create a country called Sierra Leone. The white man knew what he was doing when he got us to sign. We're already behind the eight ball. So we got to come to people that already established, know how to do democracy and the rule of law, the economic systems, all these things. But people had a lot of time ahead of us before they got us to create a country called Sierra Leone and then follow and learn. So we're behind. So the Chinese, what they did, they were in the same situation Africa was. They stole their way. They cybersecurity is the biggest way in which they stole secrets from everybody they can steal it from. Industrial espionage to play catch up. Africa, we're too morally inclined to cheat, but that shows a way in which when you want to catch up with a white man. That's the way the Chinese did. They cheated their way, So that's all I gotta say. The people that want to come to Africa, by all means, Black people that always were curious about Africa, whether they're from the Caribbean or South America or the United States or the UK, you're always curious. By all means, come to Africa. But like Mizi said, you got a community over there too. So that's all I gotta say. I'm out.
I appreciate you,
Thanks for
brother.
having me.
Yeah, thanks, Mar. Yeah, and Mar is always good to hear from him. He's always giving a good perspective and stuff like that. And like I said at the top of the show, throughout the show, no one ever said bum rush the coast. The bum rush the coast ideology is going down the water. What we are saying that we're living in a global world, right? And if we're living in a global world, right? Those of us who have the means to basically build bridges in Africa, it only makes common sense. The Chinese are globally connected through lineage, through lineage. My problem I'm having, like I said, right, is when people start spreading negative information about Nigerians, when they start spreading negative information about African Americans and all this stuff like this. And I also said that, look, because Black people are at the bottom of everything, there's no power in Blackness. So we get into our little sets. I'm an ADOS FBA. I'm a Jamaican. I'm from this place. I'm from that place, and all stuff like this. Colin, we got to focus on Black America. I said, I agree with that. Our focus should be on Black America. But hey, the bottom line is this. If I have an interest, I've been studying Liberia and Africa for 30 years. I have an interest in that country right there. My wife's Liberian, and I got friends and family and everything like that. And the United States are Liberian and everything like that. And I know people in different countries. I know government officials in Angola and places like that, and I have an organization. So if in my spare time, and I'm doing my own business and everything, in my spare time, what motivates me, right? What gets me is I've always been African enthusiast. Now I understand the College Genesis always says exaggeration is the bastard child of enthusiasm, right? And so now what I've learned over the years is as much as you are enthusiastic about Africa, never exaggerate. And that's what the purpose of this show was tonight, is to set the new tone, right? Going forward with Bomani's tours and investment and thing. We want to distinguish ourselves from a lot of stuff that's out there because there's a lot of people who are coming back from Tanzania, Ghana, with bad hearts. So I should have listened. I always tell you, I never told you to go over there without a real solid plan. If you say they do that, you're lying. I never told you to bum rush the COVID. Like, man, I had people like this that turned full ADOS FBA on me. But I went over to Africa. I lost everything. I had my boy Kofi, the one that wants to do my book. He wants to do my book. He's a producer, wants to do my book, right? It's a movie. He's going to try to picture Ryan Coogler and people like that. He basically like this. I told Kofi, I said, look, you probably listen. I said, don't go over to Ghana. Did you meet Kofi Newton? Have you met him, Bomani? Light-skinned dude?
Don't ring a bell, nah.
Yeah, okay. I think he knows you, but anyway, I told him, dude, you ain't ready for that. Ah, man, I gotta go. I said, Kofi. And now he told me, yeah, man, Carl, I should have listened. That was 3 years ago. I should have listened to you, man. I'm in debt, man. I lost everything in Ghana, He lost everything. And
Yes,
last couple of weeks, I've been thinking, man. Yeah, I've been thinking. And I said, you can't say, Carl, because I warned you, I said, get your shit together first in America, right? And go over there for a couple of months, come back, Don't quit your job and bum rush the coast. Don't do it. Don't do it. And so that's why I said the new Pan-Africanist movement is being responsible. We also, what we don't have, Bomani, is people respecting established people on the continent or established network. They go over there, they want to do it themselves, right? They think because they get a YouTube channel or whatever like that, I don't need to talk to no Bomani. I got my own YouTube channel and whatnot. They're surviving off YouTube views and all this kind of nonsense. Going over there, and it's still coming back. It's still coming back like, man, shit didn't work out. Damn, well, just a year.
Well, I got a lot of expert advice for people based on experience and based on being in a whole network. But I don't want you to take more time. Let brother.
Yeah, brother, next easy. I
on. You can go back and forth, and
I know it's more. It must be morning time over there in the Netherlands.
Because want people hear different point of views because. Some people need to make this move to Africa, and some people need to just save themselves and position themselves better in America. And but yeah, nevertheless, my brother, share what you have to share, and then Kala will talk. But Kala, please, don't cut my brother off this side.
I'm muting.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you. Look, man, those that want to go, just know before you go. Right? I just don't really agree with, and I'm not talking about you, Kala, people who do shaming tactics to get black people to go to Africa. That's when people start, it's one shooting too much. It's one killing in the hood that was a last straw that will get some of our people to make an emotional decision to move to a place that they think it's all gravy. I like that here. There's a balanced view. Okala just spoke about a brother who lost a lot of money because he didn't prepare. These are the conversations that need to be had, but there's too much Black America shaming for me to be comfortable with. When we say ADOS FBA, to the negative, right? And there's negative in every single movement, bro. There's negative in every movement. You have xenophobic ADOS, you have xenophobic Pan-Africans who will label you an agent, and an agent is supposed to be dealt with in a very horrible way, according to some of these Pan African codes. I just think we need to be practicing more internal customer service, regardless of ideology. If a brother wants to say, look, I want to stay in America, take advantage of what we have in America, and look out for my black people in America, then it should be like, yo, you know what? I know somebody else that thinks like that. Maybe I should link y'all up. If someone wants to go to Africa, I have contacts in Ghana, constantly hooking people up. I don't hook people up with contacts in the Caribbean. That's what it's about. But I'm not going to shame anyone to try to get them to make a move. And I think a lot of the conversations have this anti-Black American tinge, and surprisingly, it comes mostly from Black Americans. Africans, for the most part, don't be talking that shit, especially on the continent. You know, because they understand how it really works over there. It's not a streamlined process to buy land in a lot of countries. You know, you will lose your business if you don't have the right contacts. So if we shame people or use the white man as Thanos and racism and oh, another shooting, people are gonna be fuck it, I'm out. Everyone on the internet says Africa's the shit. I'm going, and then they get there and they're looking around like, oh, they don't, they're a fish out of water. So I just think that if we have the conversations respectfully, listen to each other, digest it, and then formulate a response, we can have constructive conversations. I have no smoke for those that are actually doing work, whether you're doing it in the hood in America, in Europe, for black people, or on the continent in Jamaica. It don't matter as long as you're doing work. But I don't like shaming people because of their circumstance. We're talking about, certain parts of Jamaica, I ain't gonna try to shame them and say y'all need to come live a fire in. You know what I'm saying? No. If some people love their place, you ever see like a badass kid in a supermarket, mom's cursing her out, blah blah blah, but let you say something to that kid, then you'll see that so-called love that she has for that kid. No one can talk shit about her kid except her. No matter how bad the hood is in America, there's some people who that's all they know, and it's their little piece of reality. It's sad in my opinion, but it's on them to try to get out, and we have to try to help them out and not shame them out. Nigeria is in my opinion in shambles. You get some honest Nigerians that will concur, but then you get also some Nigerians that'll say, I don't care, it's my country. You see what I'm saying? So I just think we have to have a little more respect on both sides, and respect each other's struggles. That's it.
Yeah, and I look, I 100% agree with you, right? And this week, I don't know if you were following, man, but I just basically said that on Search for Huru and Brandon show. Look, the bottom line is this idea of being dismissive of Black America's achievements and what they have in Black, a whole vast Black America, all type of, here on the East Coast of the United States, Black people, oldest Black communities in the world, established Black communities in the world. We have Black people in Virginia that run everything, everything from the shipyards, everything. The money's right here, but there's people. Look, right here in Virginia, there's so many Black people successful. I'm a business owner. My office complex, nothing but Black people, young professionals doing their thing. What am I going to do? Tell them, you go to Africa. Now, if I was respectful and like I talked to some people and everything, oh yeah, I go to Liberia. They see my Liberia chain, right? I said, you know about Liberia? I said, what about? Tell me about that country. I'm not saying, man, you should go over to Liberia because you are right here. No, I don't do that. I'm like, yeah, I went over there. My wife's Liberian. I'm into the country and I got investments over there and stuff like that. Okay. Oh, it's a beautiful country, and this part of your history and everything. And they get excited and they go look it up for themselves, something. And the next thing you know, they want to go over there, and these are the people that I'm going to reach out to and bring them on tour with us. I'm saying like this, the problem in America is this. There's a lot of people who are dissatisfied with their situation in America, right? Because when it becomes down to it, there's a lot of people that feel angry because they're not connecting with they don't have the family together for a certain, and so basically, and also I would never understand something. Why is it that Black people don't take on their wins. When we see somebody like that, we have a great history in America, right? Something to build on. And also, and Africans, when I went to Africa, I stand on John Johnson. I stand on Reginald Lewis. I stand on Booker T. Washington, all these people. That's what people see in me. That's who I am. I'm African American. This is my culture. That's who I am. Yeah, I love Liberia. I love all these African countries, but that's who I am. So when you basically stand on your square and be proud of who you are, right, you can go to any African country, get along. But what I'm saying is I see a lot of people who are African American, Black American, who basically get in circles and start disparaging Black America and ghettoizing us, stuff like that. Different than the white supremacists, and a lot of Africans are like, most Africans don't think like that. They think highly of us, and so you got the African Americans who basically, talk down about us, or Black people are failing, we're doing this, we're getting shot by the police every day. I said, no, that's not how you basically sell Africa to people. You sell Africa to people by showing success, show what they can do, over there. Show them the beauty of the continent, right? And then they'll be interested. But if you start shaming somebody, right? It's like when you see somebody who needs to lose some weight, right? You start shaming them. You should be eating that. You should be eating that. He's gonna resist you. He's gonna say, "Get the hell out of here," Or somebody's always like vegans. A lot of these people sound like the vegans. Vegans. I'm like, I have nothing against people who are vegan, right? And I saw this a couple of years ago, right? Back when the Lion King came out, right? This is back in '94, right? And then I realized all this whole virtual signaling, social justice warrior stuff like that. And somebody, I was in a laundromat, right? And I picked, how this little tiny newspapers at a college, they're like 2 or 3 pages, and they got a bunch of ads in there, and they have little articles by students and everything, stupid students, whatever like that. So I just happened to pick, doing my laundry. I looked at the thing, and it said the Lion King is racist. I said, how does Simba and Mufasa racist? This is white meat-eating male supremacy over the planet. I'm like, that's what you got from Lion King? Meat-eating males and whatnot, and then about these are vegans. I said, what the hell is this vegan? That's what I learned about vegans. We got to go plant. So these people are, it's not only that, it's not enough for them to believe in the veganism. They want to shame you for eating meat, And every time I see a vegan talk, or a vegetarian, all these people talk about this, I say, you know something? You just made me more hungry for a steak. You sick motherfucker. You sick. You got animals that, the more you keep talking, and that's how a lot of people are with the Pan-African movement. If you don't basically say, something, this is what you get from a vegan plant-based diet. It's good for you and everything. It's good for me. And leave it at that. And let your light shine and say, people, okay, you're doing. But if you're on it, this is, blah, blah, blah. It's just like the vegans. People hate vegans now. Why? Because you took it to another level. And I said to myself, I'm not going to do that. I don't do that. I promote Africa, benefits and everything. And I talk to people. I said, look, I got my brother Mark Blanton, Bomani, several other people that's doing things, and Brandon, whatever, doing several other things. I said, look what they're doing, like that. But I never beat them over the head and say, you better do this, you got to do this, or you like that. I'm like, majority of Black people are Americans. This is their country. This is where your ancestors fought for. This is your land. This is your country. And you have just as much right to be here as anybody else, right? But at the same time, there's people in our country, in our community that says, something? The guy says, I got 5 sons. One's in the military, one's a doctor, one this. And I got one son that's an investment in Africa. Give me one of your sons. One of them's going to be interested in Africa. That's good right there. So you got 3 sons. You got 4 out of 4 sons. You got 3 sons established in America. One person's over in Africa, open for farming business. He's a Pan-African side of the family. All sons don't need to be doing that. Just one. That's balance right there. Any other culture, that's balance. But what happens is balance. We all got to be, we got to get Africa. Or we all got to be, just cut Africa off. You can't have that. You have to have balance. It should be natural that one out of every 30 Black people say, something? I like to go to Africa and live. I like to go to Africa and invest. I got the means to do it. I got residual income and everything. That would be normal. And we wouldn't even have these conversations. That does not take away from the Black people who believe in America and want to stay in America. That's all I want to say.
There's also a comment right here. I have a few of them I'm going to repost. If anyone want to address them.
Okay, he says Africa is.
Ooh, I want to do that one. I want to do that one because I work in industry. Has it crossed your mind? I'm sorry, brother. You do it because I heard you speak and I gotta live by my own words. I'm sorry. I was excited. Go on,
Okay,
Kala.
it says, as it crossed your mind, maybe Africa is undeveloped because they're so. First of all, the industrial. Okay, we understand that. We understand Africa is broken up, like the brother said, the Bretton Woods institutions and everything like that. The problem in Africa, right here, is this: if you look at Africa, right, Africa is 5 times the size of India, right? Uh, the world, and this is something like I said, the people who aren't Pan Africans, right? I don't want their I don't want the people, right, who I see this discourse right here, their hearts to be hardened, right? Africa has 5 times the population of India, right? But it has like what 10% of the industries, right? Prince Harry, what's that? Meghan Markle husband, whatever, Prince Harry. He is basically saying Africa is overpopulated. Africa has more land than it can. Africa doesn't have enough people, and so the powers that be, right? If Africa industrialized, just not even exporting, if Africa produces its own goods just for consumption of it locally and stop importing, right? Europe would collapse. So the industrialization of Africa is a direct threat to Europe, right? So therefore, this is why they let you have Sudanese, South Sudanese in Australia by large numbers. Why? Because Australian firms and Canadian firms in there taking out their oil. How can you develop if you let foreigners? They're not going to take your oil to develop. They're going to take it offshore to develop themselves. So we're playing this game back and forth. And I'm saying to my African American people, right? We have to understand why this is happening. Africa is not industrialized, except for South Africa, because industrialization of Africa fully, and then also has a thing. The world has now convinced, right? And a lot of Africans are convinced, right, that we have this climate change. I don't know how everybody feels about this on the panel. This climate change hoax, right? A climate change alarmist, right? That's all to basically say there's too many industries, cars, and who the people they don't want to have factories. Factories are emissions and everything. Well, Africa, you mean tell me if Africa is going to drive cars, they got to keep importing car parts. They can't manufacture their own steel plants and everything to make cars and parts and stuff like that. No, you got to get them from Europe. Europe gets to stay industrialized, right? And Africa became a consumer class with the World Bank and IMF giving subsidies to close gaps and things. That's the Africa you're right now. Then what do you do with the African youth? You bring them to the West, right? That's what you have right now. You basically give them college thing, and then basically what you have is the tension between African Americans and some African youth is they're taking the best and brightest out of their culture, right? And they bring them to America, and they thinking they're getting all this because they're smart. No, because Europeans and Westerners are taking their resources, taking stuff like that, and they bring you here. They give them student visas and everything like that, and they put them up against black people. Look how well these immigrants are doing, and that causes tensions between African Americans and African people. So it's an all game we're playing because we're in a position of powerless. And all I'm saying is let's address that. Let's check the people that's coming over here and say, look, you're over here because a lot of people, and we have to understand something. America is still a racist country and everything. And the bottom line is it's racist as far as power is concerned. This is what I was trying to tell Nakneezy. Power is concerned. White people have the ability to give to balance it out. And they found out in a few years ago, and this is where Yvette Carnell was making some points with ADOS, right? That the slots in Ivy League schools designed for black students, right? They said, okay, we don't do test scores and stuff like that, or SATs, whatever like that. Most of them were blacks from immigrant background, right? And so Nigerians and all these people were, why are they going to these prestigious schools? Why? Because the black people, African Americans, want to go to HBCUs, and then all of a sudden they deliberately recruit these people, right, with their student visas and everything, to these positions. So what you have now is people, Africans and immigrants in positions of power, right? And black people, and they're making decisions. Well, how did you get there? Or do you have our background? Like Joy Reid, she's not African American, right? They get into high positions of power and everything. Why? Because we've always been an open society in Black America. We let everybody in. But these people are tied to their home country and their mother country, which is the UK, France, and all these other countries, right? And so that puts us in a position. So what I'm saying is, so black people just sitting back, that we're going to focus on America. You can't do that. That's a luxury, You have to start getting into the international game. So in other words, okay, if Nigerians are coming over here, guess what? We should be over in Nigeria, right? We should be in the UK or in the EU and all these other places right here talking about what's going on in Nigeria and Ghana and everything else. Let's play this global game. We cannot sit in America anymore behind America and speculate this, because the Africans and all these other people, they're playing a global game. 1 minute they're in America, 1 minute they're in China. They're making progress, and we cannot be left behind in America. That's how you serve the black community in the cities. We need to bring industries and jobs to all people back here by playing a goal. If we build Africa and China and build with China and everything, our communities here will benefit. So it's not just go to Africa. I hope people could be illuminated what I just said.
Let me respectfully disagree with 98% of what you just said.
Okay.
It was about industry, right? The Industrial Revolution started in England in about 1856, I believe. Right?
It was like in the 70s. It was like doing the cotton, like in the early, like 1800s.
It was in the mid 1800s. Let's just round it to there.
Early 1800s.
Okay.
Okay.
Kala, remember I told you not to cut me off.
Okay.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. When you spoke, I was quiet, brother. I love you. I want to teach you. I want you to learn how to practice internal customer service. Please, brother, allow me to speak like I allowed you to speak. And I mean that. All right. So in the mid 1800s, there was the Industrial Revolution in Western Europe, specifically in England. This was a huge catalyst for the ending of chattel slavery in America. The English actually outlawed it in, I believe, 1808. They were done with it, supposedly, but there was really no need for black slaves when you had steam engines and machines that could do the work of 10 enslaved Africans, right? So England and Western Europeans started industry. There was no industrial revolution in Africa. That is not England or Europe stopping Africans from going forward. It's Africans not producing their own industry. And we have it today. We talked about the Vietnamese that are in Sierra Leone, the Chinese that kind of mess up the fish market in the Gambia. Got a factory owned by a Dutchman who I know personally, who told me this. It's called Atlantic Fish from Gambia. The Chinese went to the beach and started buying the fish off of these Gambians straight off the boat. Now his fish factory failed, and his employees lost a lot of money because the fish supply was taken by the Chinese. The point that I'm saying is that we can't keep saying the white man stopped this and the white man stopped that. Just because the white man invents some shit and we didn't invent it doesn't mean that they're stopping us from inventing the same thing. There are situations where they, if they give you aid, they will use that aid, whether it be food aid, economic aid, or military aid, to control your movements. But what did China do? China sent their people out to copy, spy, come back, reverse engineer it, and sell it back to people at half price. That's still not happening on the continent. When we talk about the industry on the continent, in Nigeria, right in the, right off in the water off of Lagos, you have Total, you have Shell in Delta State, you have the Nigerian refineries that haven't been working in the black for like 15 years. They're running at losses. Dangote is trying to change that. But something deeper here is the lack of development coming from black people worldwide. If we're going to talk about specifically Africa, you can put it to there was no industrial revolution in Africa. Where are we now? Africans can spend money on private jet, or African leaders, right? Because I like to put it at the African leaders, can spend money on private jets to go to England to get surgery or just to get checkups. But they won't invest that into hospitals in their own countries. It's not only Nigeria, they do it in the Gambia, all over West Africa. They do this. So it's a mindset. Like someone said, that the hood mindset can be changed, or at least needs to be changed. The mindset of the African leadership needs to change. It needs to go from being a consumer or the face of poverty and handouts, because nothing is for free. If you're when you were 15 or 16, you took a girl to the movies, you wasn't taking her just because you wanted her to enjoy the movie. I'll leave it at that. Despise the free lunch. And Africa has to understand that nothing that is supposedly given to you is free. There's always some quid pro quo. China gives you this, but they're going to want that. They're going to want access. So, industry, there has to be an industrial revolution in Africa. I'm going to end with this whole green initiative. From somebody that works in the industry, that's all bullshit.
I agree.
It's all political bullshit.
I agree.
And yeah, it's just I can't give out too much, but like renewable jet fuel will give your ass cancer if you come in contact with it, just like any other fuel. Doba, crude oil comes from Chad, and Dar comes from, I believe, Sudan, or vice versa, right? They're refined where I work, because there's no refineries to do it down there. And when they do have refineries, the damn pipelines are getting blown up. So they choose to do it somewhere else. Africa has to really step back. Not Africa, African countries have to step back and say, what is our future going to be? Instead of Akufo-Addo going to Spain, right? They should have been had Ghanaian students or workers working in these chocolate factories in Spain and Switzerland as workers, stealing ideas, taking photos of the equipment, having
the Japanese didn't they do that now?
Exactly. This is what we need to do, or what they need to do, right? They need to send an army of their brightest spies across the world, reverse engineer shit. We don't have to recreate the wheel. It's already been created. But for the industrial, you just need to look over, the smartest kids in the class, test and copy. But now industry at a certain point is going to become obsolete. So we not need to be worrying about what is future technology. And just because it comes from the white man doesn't mean that it's bad. Bomani was in the military, I believe. He learned skills in the American military that he can provide, that he can use in his daily life to propel him forward in his business ventures. This is what I'm saying. We're here in America. We're here in the diaspora. We're here in Europe, wherever we are. I'm in Europe. You know why? Where I work right now, I have my own company. But before I opened my own company, I looked at what I was doing as a paid internship. White boys didn't want to show me anything. So every time they did something, I would just quietly look until I found one white boy named Wilco, Wilco. This white boy was willing to show me stuff. And he just gave me a little. And with that little he gave me, I went ape shit on it. Then I Googled and I researched. We have to get back to that. And now I'm going to go back to America and use the skills that I learned about industry in America, and then try to put my Black Americans on as well.
Yeah, that right there is progress. If that spread throughout Black America, anything that's building and learning, and I'm all for it. Trust me, I'm all for it. I don't give a dang what that. Like I said, Africa is just one piece of the puzzle. But it could be a big piece. If then all of a sudden I would have to help the panel agree with me. Africans got to step up. They have to step up, and we're saying that if we could see all this stuff, then they should be able to see all this stuff. Because the bottom line is this: if Africa wins big and everything, and we could be part of it, that'll be more thing on more chink in our armor. Because
Yo, I gotta go. My wife's coming back. She's gonna get mad if I stay online too long.
All right, now.
I appreciate it. Later.
All right, brother. Yeah. But yeah, that was a good spirited conversation. Sometimes you got to have these discussions and debates, and everything. You know what I'm saying? You got to have these discussions and debates. and Nagnese will bring it to you. You know, he'll bring it to you. You know, so it's a good thing he made his points and everything. You know, I made mine and Mari made his and everything, but it's good though. But the truth is out, brother Bomani, right? You can't watch this show and everybody knows the Pan African community, the African Adolf, whatever you call yourself, everybody's on notice. You know, you can't just tell somebody to bum rush the coast and everything. You know, this is long term. This ain't tomorrow. This is long term. This is building something. You know, building networks and relationships global. That's what we have the BAIO for. Join our social network, right? And we build that thing. I believe in Black African infrastructure. And the bottom line is that if you're about building infrastructure and with Black people, you don't necessarily have to be a Pan-Africanist, but you're a part of the Black African global infrastructure, you know? Whether you want to stay in Europe, whether you want to live in Siberia, we're all part of the thing. We need people eyes and ears watching out. Can you imagine, brother, we had our own command center in Africa feeding information, you know, our intelligence center. That's what the Japanese did. Japanese would go in there. People don't say when you see those Japanese back in the days taking pictures, bowing, these people say, oh, Japanese like taking pictures. No, they were taking pictures of fire hydrants, buildings, everything, even building code, all that stuff like that. And they're feeding it back to Japan. You know, they'll say, oh man, these Japanese over here like taking pictures. They were taking pictures of everything, factories and whatnot, everything. They call it industrial espionage, you know, and social espionage. They wanted to know how things work in America, in the West and whatnot, you know, and they took all this information and brought it back to Japan, you know, and so like I said, we have to get to that point. Next year we're gonna be in Liberia, folks. You want to join me, Bomani, all of us on tour in Liberia and whatnot. I believe Liberia will be the place where this Pan-African revolution starts. You know, it all starts with socialization and us getting together. And I hope we can bring Liberia and Uganda and Angola and the Congo, all these places in one place where Black American and diaspora could meet. We need that one base of operations where we could meet and share information and stuff like that. And I believe over the years, the next generation will inherit that. We can make Liberia like Hong Kong.
Yes, brother. And so this is a foundation now. We're building from the ground up. And this is the flyer right here, family. And we have all the details on our website. So, Brother Kala, what do you think of the details on this flyer and all the information we talk about?
It's beautiful. Journey of a Lifetime tour. And this will be a lifetime tour. Picture of J.J. Roberts, the steel of Liberia.
We're going to take a whole lot of photos and pictures, and we're going to load it up all over the network, all over the internet.
And also, let me tell you something. My book, Journey to the Promised Land. Hopefully, everything will be like it. Voyage to the Bark Azor. My boy Kofi, he asked me that he wants to try to make this into a movie, a motion picture. And so I said, go for it. So he's gonna start the screenplay and stuff like that. And that's what he does. He does film work. He says, even if it don't get to the big screen, we could put it on Apple or any digital TV series and whatnot. He said this could be like a 5-part series. You know, his book, his novel. It's about the exodus of 1878 from Charleston, South Carolina to Liberia. It was a fictionalized true story. And so I fictionalized it and put it right here in the book. And the book is really good. It got 4-star review on Bluing review, you know. So bottom line is next year, like I said, when we do that tour, I'm going to do a whole speech somewhere. I'm a book reading while we're there about Journey to the Promised Land. When we're on Providence Island, I'm going to read the chapter, Behold the Promised Land. So it's going to be like, you're going to be on Providence Island. And when they was in Providence Island, something like 60 years after the first settlers arrived there, the settlers of the Azore arrived on Providence Island, right? That was a land of Persia. That's where all the settlers always came to first, Providence Island, you know, before they went to the mainland, you know. And so if you go on the tour with us one night and I'll read the chapter, Behold the Promised Land, and everything like that, you're going to feel like you're back in history. You're connecting to your ancestors and everything like that right there. So join us next year, next July. You got a whole year to get in touch with myself or Bomani. And Bomani, get your money straight with Bomani and stuff like that, you know. And we're going to do this tour. You know, we're going to do this tour investment thing. So.
Yes, brother, you are ready to roll. Let me put that flyer back up. And there you go. And while we're on the topic, what I want to do is go directly to the website and then show the tour overview.
Hey, Bomani, I'm gonna log in from my phone. I'm gonna leave. I'm logging from my phone, right? I gotta go downstairs. All right.
All right, cool, gotcha. And I got us on screen sharing, gotcha. All right, so that is the Liberia flyer. So we're gonna switch to the overview from our website.
Yeah, I think people could relax now. We're not telling anybody to bum rush the coast. We're not trying to kidnap you and go to Africa. It's like this is one of the things that's part of being black in the diaspora. We're connecting with Africa. You know, you may be connecting with somebody. You may be in a fraternity, whatever you are. You may be in the Elks Lodge. Add this on to your thing of things to do in the world. You know, your connection with Africa. This is what part of you. You know, we're not asking for a whole lot. You know, so I never told anybody to just bum rush the coast. You know.
Yes, Brother Kala. Yes, that was a very interested conversation.
Didn't I tell you we had to do the show tonight, man?
Absolutely. So I'm hoping that you're able to just share all you want to share. Absolutely, from the perspective of just
Right.
us here in America trying to work and
This is
figure
the
it
base.
all out.
This is where it's going to start. We need America. I know they don't like the fact that 45, 50 million of us got access to all their industries, knowledge, and everything. You know, that's what we have to do. Get educated, get your skill set up, do better. Don't, what I'm saying? Then, you find something in Africa or wherever like that, or somewhere in America, not just Africa, the Caribbean, everything, be part of it. We cannot have deadbeats, Another thing is, if you're no good over here, if you're not winning over here, you're not going to be no good to anybody in Africa. Don't come to Africa empty-handed or empty-headed. Empty-headed and empty-handed is two things we don't need. We need people with smarts, intelligence. And the most important thing too, folks, we want you to be happy. You can't fake happiness, right? It's like I said about the vegans, brother Bomani. I said, you got these vegans, but they happy. Like today, I went to my brother's house, right? And I didn't know he cooked out yesterday. He said, oh, yeah, cooked out. We got steak left. I go, you got steak left? And I said, yeah. He go, we went in the kitchen. We stopped. We went to the kitchen. Let me show you something. He gave me a piece of ribeye. And I said, man, shit's good. I love steak. I ain't giving that up for nothing. I love steak. He said, I gave me a piece of steak and some grilled chicken. I was like, oh, man, I can eat this by itself. I don't need no sides, no bread, no nothing. But I'm saying this, though. The vegan people will look at you like, oh, you meat eaters. Okay, if you like vegan, okay, I like steak. I like eating meat. Leave me alone. We Pan-Africans can't be like the vegan people, shaming people because, they're not really interested in Africa. That's fine. I am. So we're going to do this. You know, and that's what the whole thing about this is. That's why all this diaspora war stuff is unnecessary. It's really unnecessary, unproductive, counterproductive. Oh yes, I am very passionate. Both of us, Bomani and myself, particularly Bomani, Black empowerment. You know, we like Black people to be empowered. We want you to be happy. You know, that's the whole thing. You know, you ever hear preachers, they take all your money and everything like that, right? But if they're not telling you how you can be happy, you know, I think every religion, right? If it doesn't bring you peace and happiness, leave it alone. You know, whatever you're doing, if you're not happy, you feel like you're in bondage, you know, leave it alone. It's no good. You know, I look at that. I don't want Pan-Africanism to seem like bondage. You know, I don't want it to seem like bondage. I want people that are happy, come to do this willingly, you know, enthusiastically, lovingly, you know, and that's when we're going to be productive. That's when we're going to learn to compromise. That's when we're going to learn to get along with each other, you know. But if you feel like you have to do something because you read something in a book sometime, or you read Marcus Garvey, and I got to do this. Okay, we love Marcus Garvey. Well, you got to think about your life first. My grandfather was a Garveyite, but he knew he couldn't go to Africa, Liberia, whatever like that. You know what? He got a job at Con Edison, bought a house in South Jamaica, Queen, and his Africa was the community in South Jamaica, Queens. He raised his kids, grandkids, and everything. Took trips down south and everything. We had the life, you know. You know, we couldn't get to Africa or not, but we did what we had to do. Now he could have been like, "Oh man, Garvey's movement's dead. I'm not gonna do nothing." He carried on. He understood he had to keep doing what he's doing. He had to feed his family. You know?
Absolutely, brother. Got to make a living. Got to make a living.
I'm sure Bomani's father had the same story. You know?
Yes, brother Kala. So what I'm gonna do is just read through this right here, family, for the Liberia Journey for Lifetime. So we have a whole bunch of highlights on there.
Mm-hmm.
Tour of the capital, Monrovia, Liberia National Museum, Capitol Hill Tour, Monrovia City, University of Liberia, Capitol Hill, Joseph Jenkins Robert Monument, First President of Liberia, Providence Island, 1822 settlement. So, family, that's literally 200 years.
Hey, Bomani, I gotta send you the video of me at that J.J. Roberts monument. You should put it on your website.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, when we go there, we're gonna definitely do the top-notch videos as far as this tour guide and presentation and everything.
Well,
But you did send me a video of you did share a video with me.
well, I shared it to you. I showed it to you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But you know how it is, we have to
Oh,
have
I know. You got you. It wasn't the best quality. I get it.
professionalism. So let my brother not Meezy back in. Greetings, brother. How are you? You ready to come to Liberia with us?
Yo, brother, that's why I clicked the link. How much is this tour? Real talk. How much is this tour?
Yes, absolutely. This tour is 3,800, and it is for July 20th to the 30th, 2023.
Oh, 2023. Okay.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the visa situation out there? You have to get it in advance?
Yes, that's what I always recommend since we have time to get visas done. And brother Kala can answer some of these questions
Oh
because
yeah,
he got a visa recently. He
yeah.
is
What you call it? Visa. I don't know how it
Liberian
is in
expert.
America. I use Rapid Visa Pro, and they give you an envelope. Right? You apply for it. You give an envelope, and it's like about $300, right? You send your passport to them, right? And they mail you the visa and everything first. No, they send it back to you, right? And your passport, your visa is stamped on your passport. So it takes about about 10 days to come back to you. You know, and rapid visa and Liberian visa, you can get it for I think 1 year $75, 2 years $150.
Okay, that makes sense. I wish these West African countries would streamline their visa process, like visa on arrival, man. They would get so many more tourists with visa on arrival. 30,
Yeah,
all they gotta do is give us 30 days. You know what I'm saying? Then people say, "Oh, the ticket is X amount, but the visa is not an issue. Let me just go." They could
right.
probably increase their tourism, or at least people that come to visit, with intentions maybe to invest by probably 20% just by streamlining their visa
Hey,
process.
Nat, I believe Bomani could be the man to do that.
Absolutely.
I believe
Visa
Bomani could be
arrival
the man to do that.
is always good. Yeah, they do it mainly in East Africa, like places like Tanzania and also Kenya. But unfortunately, it's just not like a cultural thing in West Africa. But so I always got to recommend everybody that's do the visa at least 2 to 3 months before we travel. What Kala recommend earlier is fine. I'm not trying to knock all these recommended. What I always recommend for all of our tour groups and members and people who we do consultation for and people who work with is for us to work on the visa together or for them to work on the visa based on the information that we have on the website. That basically this is giving them all of the process from the relative embassy or consulate of that country. And then what I have is just the full details, and we just follow it. And then I provide all of the contents that they need to fill in the visa, including any kind of letters or any kind of just information that they need. It could be invitation letter, it could be itinerary, and things like that. So that's what I get organized, and then we just mail it out on our own, and then you get it back. Tanzania visa is should be the standard. Everything is just literally just online, and it's literally just digital, where you just upload your files and then you just fill out your information and you just pay online, and everything is sent back as far as the visa is just sent back in the, via email within a few days. So yeah, so we have a lot of work to do across Africa. But this is what I'm recommending for people for Liberia. So pay the 160 and save all the extra money that you pay a third party company.
Yeah, that's what it was, a third party company. That's why I paid so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. You could have just gave me the money and I did it for you for less.
Oh, I didn't know that at the time.
It doesn't even matter what country we go to. We just put. I literally just. Now people even come in. We just work on their visa and just get things done for people, and or just consultation from this remote access and whatever you need to do. This that's why I got all these computers, and that's why this is Bomani technology. But nevertheless, we're gonna once we work on this Liberia tour, this will be the foundation. We're gonna build up and plant all the right things in place, and this, you and your crew and your connections there with us build us the right network that we need. So not me, dear brother. That is right there on our website, africafortheafricans.org, and you can
Thank you, brother. I'm gonna check it out.
check it out. And if everything is good, and hopefully next year is not too far away.
You doing Ghana again sometime in the future?
Yes, we're doing Ghana again, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up the schedule and then let you know. I'm gonna put up the schedule right here. Let me see the schedule that we have. All right, hopefully you can see the screen well. And let me so not Measy, that is the flyer and the schedule right there, brother.
I can see it. It's small, but I'll just go to your website. Is it on your website?
Yes, the exact schedule is on the website. It's not this flyer itself, but as soon as you click on the site, you'll see all the tours with all the dates and all the details. And then you see right in the middle, right there, family, Liberia, July 20th to the 30th.
Yo, Carla, you're not having a autopsy? Mute
What you
your
say, bro?
mic, brethren. Mute your mic, brethren.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has it on some kind of mute. So not sure what's going on. Yo, Kala.
Yo, yeah. I had to mute. I was doing some stuff. I told you I had to go downstairs. I was making some noise. I forgot that I muted my mic. Sorry about that.
Yo, Carla, I used to work at Con Ed as well. So, you know what I'm saying? I worked in the Bronx at a substation back in the 90s and stuff.
Kind of my grandfather worked. What do you? I can't remember. I was a kid. I think he worked at Con Edison, and I think he worked in the one in Queens. But anyway, he was like one of the first black engineers, right? He got hired in 1956, you know, and he was in Con Edison, right? My grandfather retired a rich man, not rich or wealthy, you know, for black people. He retired with a couple hundred G's in the bank, stocks, some of everything. So New York did him good. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. When I worked there, was a lot of brothers in Con Edison. Con Edison, you remember 9X?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Con Edison, 9X. We had all the blue collar work on lock in New York City back in the day.
Yeah, but like I said, a lot of people don't realize it's Black America right here. The shipyard in Norfolk and Newport News shipbuilding, all you see is brothers down there. Not even some of them union, you know, some are union, but non-union and union down there and whatnot, you know. And the bottom line is this idea: Black people in America are lazy and all kinds of dude. Go to Baltimore and go to the shipbuilding shipyards and see if you can replace that with any immigrant. That's why I'm not threatened by no immigrants. You know, they come over here, whatever. I'm not worried about it. Black people in America are African Americans are vital. If Black people in America want to shut down this whole East Coast, we could. You know, and people, what I'm saying is, I tell people all the time, is people have to start giving Black America, the Pan-African community, got to start giving Black America the respect it deserves. When you step to Black America, step them over with some respect. It's all a lot of Black people that you want, just some respect. You know, you want our money, you want us to tour, you want us to invest in Africa. Don't come to us, you know, telling us our shit stinks over here. You need to come in. No. I never endorsed that shit. That's not me. You know, I'm like this. I go to Black, I deal with Black people every day. And I talk to them about African. I go to somebody. I go to cigar lounge. I love cigars, right? I go to cigar lounge. All these guys and the Black guys in there, contractors, businessmen. I was going, y'all need to go to Africa, man. They'll freaking run my ass out of there, man. So nigga, who are you talking about? But when they ask me, hey, I go over there. Oh yeah, you know the motherland, because these guys go down to Colombia, DR, and places like that, Brazil. You know, and you somebody you pitch it to them, and when they start learning about it, say, oh man, I can go over there. I can chill with that. You know, but you got to do it the right way. You can't just get all self-righteous and I'm a Pan-Africanist and, you know, and what I say is right and everything. You know, you got to sell your idea, you know, and then 1 out of every 50 people might be interested. If that's okay. If you get 1 out of 50, if you have something real, 1 out of 50 is fine to me, you know, because you got something that's better than 0 out of 50. You know, better than 0 out of 50, 0 out of 50 people. I'd rather have 1 out of 50. So.
I agree, brother. I agree. We might have to trick them, show them pictures of Sosua and tell them that it's West Africa. They'll go then. Or Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, or Colombia. It seems like a lot of brothers is good to be traveling when it comes to like simping with stringy hair women, but they don't want to go, you know, where the Black people are.
Yeah. Hey, brothers, but I got to get off the phone, brother. I'm going to holler at you good brothers later.
Yeah, me too. Bomani, I'm gonna check out your website. Thank you for having me on again, and peace, brother.
Absolutely, family. We'll
Brother, I'll
appreciate
talk to y'all
everyone.
later.
Family, I take care. We're gonna end and appreciate everyone. So, family, once again, this is our details. You can visit our website for all information on Africa Tourism Investment, and we'll connect you on the incredible journey of a lifetime.